The Oklahoma City Thunder are proving their dominance right here and now. Last night, it was just too much, Chill. John, it was just too much. I, the Wolves played good, but I felt like the Thunder played essentially a perfect brand of basketball. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong.
I think the way they were denying Ant the ball gave him trouble the whole game. I think Lou Dort needs to get a lot of credit because that was from the very first play. From the tip, Lou Dort was denying Ant the ball. And it looked like throughout the first half, he couldn't really adjust to that. Throughout the first half, he only had about 2 field goals throughout that entire first half. But the Minnesota Timberwolves team came up extremely clutch around Anthony Edwards to say, look, until you figure this out, we got you. Jaden McDaniels, transition buckets, open threes, driving to the rim. Dante DiVincenzo knocking down key shots, Nickeil Alexander-Walker knocking down key shots, Rudy Gobert offensive rebounding and finishing around the rim. So the supporting cast gave the perfect game you could have if Anthony Edwards was going to have an off night like this. So I think the Minnesota Timberwolves supporting cast deserves a lot of credit. As for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're just scratching the surface. I think J-Dub has improved.
Scratching the surface?
I don't think Chet is nearly as good as he's going to be. I don't think J-Dub is nearly as good as he's going to be.
Man.
Shai is 26 years old. I think Chet is going to be a top 5 center at minimum in about 3 years. I already have him around top 5 or 6, but once Chet really starts attacking the rim more, putting the ball on the floor more, he was confident with his 3-point shots. Same could be saying with J-Dub. He was getting to his spots, knocking down mid-ranges. He was getting to the rim. When these guys are like at their surface and how good they're going to be, it's going to be really hard to beat. And when you have a Thunder team that played that well, and I don't even want to talk about Alex Caruso, there was multiple possessions where Chet had the ball on the perimeter and looked like he was probably going to cough up a turnover. Alex Caruso cuts to the basket and gets the same layup, I think 2 possessions in a row. That's really big, especially in a close game where Minnesota is just
kept
there.
Losing people in that back line.
Yeah.
Minnesota just made so many mistakes.
That was out of hustle though, Ryan.
What do you say?
Can you hear me?
You hot?
Yeah.
That was out of hustle. It like what John D was just saying. Like it looked like Chet was gonna cough it up. Like I think one person would come, maybe J Dub would try to come this side, and like they were like, oh, we're about to get this turnover. I think and when they got there, I think they kind of lose track of, oh, I still got to know where my man is. And so you're still losing somebody on defense, and it's still technically a defensive breakdown. But I do think it came from hustle and not just being an airhead though.
You muted. Can't hear you, Ron. You muted, Ron. Can't hear you, brother.
It came at a good intention, but we all know sometimes like you can be overzealous and over gamble, and like you just don't have to do that. If Chet's in a bad position, why go double him? Just deny your man. It was a time where SGA was dribbling. He had the switch on Rudy. He fell to the ground. J-Mac should have just denied J-Dub the ball. Instead, when he seen SGA fall to the ground, he went and tried to basically take the ball from him. And that gave up. SGA found J-Dub on the ground, literally on his stomach. Found him, passed the ball to him, and he cracked a wide open 3. And it was just little things like that kept happening. And it was like Minnesota was right there. But Oklahoma City would just make the right play at the right time and just extend their lead. It was just unfortunate for Minnesota, I think.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
I think the interesting thing is Minnesota wasn't awful yesterday.
They weren't, Chill.
They weren't.
They were not terrible yesterday. I mean, they shot 65% in the first quarter. They shot 55% in the third quarter. I think this offseason, last offseason, Ant improved the long ball. This offseason, Ant's going to learn how to play off the basketball better. That's where he's got to improve. Because one of the things that I learned is when you ask him for the basketball, this is where the basket is, Ron. If you keep asking for the basketball going this way, that's not helping the offense. You got to learn how to get open. You got to learn how to have quick hits. You got to learn how to come off screens. I think Ant is so used to playing with the ball that he doesn't know how to play off the ball effectively as much as he can. John, you brought up something interesting about Ant getting denied. He's getting denied up till half court.
Yeah.
So when he's getting the basketball, number one, the shot clock is at like 13 seconds. 2, he's expending a lot of energy trying to get to the mid-range. 3, the defense is rotating, so they get to load up on it. If he knows how to play off the basketball better, where he's coming off screens and getting quick hits, if he's coming off screens and being able to square a guy up 18, 19 feet away from the basket, as opposed to I'm asking for the ball and we're going this way, Lou Dort is doing his job. Lou Dort is 100% doing his job. I hear a lot of times that, and Ox and I go over this so much. Ox, big fella, we got to come off that rebounding in defense. That was the difference in the game yesterday. That was the difference in the game yesterday.
I think rebounding,
big fella.
I feel you. No, I think rebounding is very important. Like I've said millions of times, I think rebounding is the most important part of the basketball game. I 100% full-heartedly believe that, and I always have. I still don't think it's defense, but I still think you're right. I think the rebounding situation was terrible. And you said that you think the Timberwolves didn't play awful last night. I think they played really good as a team. I think J-Mac playing, being aggressive like that, Dante being aggressive. I think Nikhil Alexander, I think he played really good. And I'm not even mad at Ant as far as when he was getting the ball. I think he was getting off it, moving around, finding teammates. Julius was terrible last night.
Terrible.
Julius was absolutely horrendous.
Get Julius off the goddamn field.
But so what I want to ask you, Chill, is why is Coach Finch allowing Lou Dort to deny Anthony Edwards up to the half-court line instead of maybe sending Julius to get him open? Yo, go clip Lou Dort. Like Kaysen Wallace isn't going to be able to deny and like that all the way, like, because he's not as big as Lou Dort, strong as Lou Dort. So and will it get open easier? I'm just curious to know why aren't we setting any off-ball picks, anything to free him up? And was out there.
Well, they are, and I think that's a part of their offense. The off-ball picks that they're setting, Oklahoma City is pushing them further away from the basket. That's why it looks the way it does. These off-ball picks, so when Anthony Edwards is coming off the screen, he's coming off the screen 22 feet away from the basket. He's not coming off the screen 18 feet away from the basket. He's not coming off the screen right down the lane to the mid-range, that's where his spot can be. He's not coming off screens at the three-point line. No, he's coming off screens, and he's getting pushed way further away from the basket. Now, as far as Julius Randle, there was an adjustment that was made. So, Ron, in game 3, if you notice, Julius Randle, it was a lot of catch and shoot, a lot of quick hits with him. Yeah. Well, last night, he's getting the ball in the box, and he's 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles. Okay, that's not going to work on Alex Caruso. 1, the defense is loaded up, and they're waiting for you. 2, Alex Caruso is strong as an ox. So you moving him is taking a lot longer for their deep. It's taking a lot longer for you to get into your offense, and it's taking a lot less time for them to load up on you. Julius Randle is the most effective. Julius Randle has been the most effective in these playoffs when it's been something quick, when it's coming off screens, catch and shoot, where he's in transition, pick and pop, pick and dive, catching the ball and shooting it quick. That's Julius Randle where he's the most effective. When you get Julius Randle in the mid-range last night at the free throw line, and he's got Alex Caruso on him, and he's got Kaysen Wallace on the right, and in addition to having Kaysen Wallace on the right, he's got Lou Dort right behind him, and he's dribbling the ball 1, 2, 3. That's not his game, and that's not how he's been the most effective in these playoffs. That's not going to work.
You can't play this Thunder team like that. We've been over this. We've been over this and over this since the series started. Before it started, how many times have we said don't over dribble with this basketball team? They're going to make you pay.
They take advantage of a lot of bigs who are basically predicating their game off of attacking mismatches, having the ball on the perimeter and dribbling. Jaren Jackson struggled. Evan Mobley in the second game when the Thunder didn't have Ihart or Chet and they ran small. Evan Mobley struggled in that game as well. Julius Randle is struggling when they played Wemby. He struggled a lot as well. They take advantage of having bigger guys. They dribble the ball higher. So when you have a guy like Alex Caruso who's lower and has that lower body strength, he can cut off some of those driving lanes and he can poke at a loose dribble. So bigs like that would struggle. I think Randle has to get some more looks in like the short roll where he can get into like maybe floater range or quick decision range to where they can take advantage of that. Because I think if Julius Randle were to start closer to the basket, this is something I've also said about Paolo Banchero. If he starts within 15 feet instead of starting like maybe 16, 17 feet out, maybe it would be a lot easier for him to get easier buckets because then the dribbling is minimized. Maybe you can make one dribble and go, or maybe two dribbles and go, instead of trying to size up an Alex Caruso or a Lou Dort or a Casey Wallace to get to the rim consistently, where if you set the screen and you're already rolling to the basket with a full head of steam, I don't think a Casey Wallace or Lou Dort can necessarily take in all that strength and still be able to make a clean contest without fouling.
Ron, we can also say the obvious, and even though some people think it, but they don't want to say it, Oklahoma City is better than them. They are better. Yeah. And they are better on both sides of the basketball. Yesterday, Ox, I saw something very simple. You and y'all guys are shut down. You guys are going to have to do it. If we're going to lose today, we're going to lose with the rest of you guys doing it. You two, nope, we're going to completely take you out of the game. We're going to take Ant out of the game because we're going to push him further away from the basket. He's going to have to, whatever he gets, it's not going to be clean. Whenever he comes to the rim, it's 2 or 3 guys waiting at the rim for him. Not only is it 2 or 3 guys waiting at the rim for him, when he's on the perimeter, we are all on one side of the floor. There is no space for him to operate. None. Same thing with Julius Randle. Julius wants to operate on that right box, on that left box. When he gets to the ball, when he gets the ball in the mid-range, he's trying to back you down, we jumping him. And the rest of you dudes, Alexander Walker, you're gonna have to hit shots. DiVincenzo, you're gonna have to make shots. McDaniels, who Ron, I've said this to you already. The more I watch this kid, I'm falling in love with him more and more. I love this kid's game. I do. I love everything about his game.
He held it down.
I didn't realize the bucket getter that he is, and he looks like he could be a 20-a-game guy and an all-league defender. He looks like he can. He
only 23, Chill.
Yes,
it's about to get tough up there. It's about to get scary between him and Ed.
100%.
But Chill. What we also got to understand, and Julius and Rudy are separate from this.
Yep.
Their young core is just that. Ant is still learning. Jaden McDaniels is still learning. And those two are 2 pivotal parts for this team. Now, I know OKC's young too, so like I'm not necessarily taking anything away from them or giving anybody credit. I'm just merely speaking the facts. Ant is still learning. You just mentioned how he got to learn how to play off ball. He got to learn how to do that. He's still learning how to navigate the mid-range. He's learning how to navigate one of the most complex defense or toughest defenses that anybody's ever seen. So he got to grow and learn. Yep. Jaden McDaniels is just now starting to smell himself and realize, like, yo, I might actually be a problem.
Yep.
And then they got some younger dudes too that remember I had mentioned I like Jalen Clark. I was high on Terrence Shannon. I think he's going to be huge for them going into the future. And also Rob Dillingham as well. He's not playing right now, but I think these guys are all going to grow together. Minnesota's going to be very good over the next 8 to 10 years or however long they can keep Ant. But I do want to say one thing though. What's up, Ox?
I just want to say it's still unacceptable from and that's another thing too. How long he's been with Finch for long enough. Like Coach Finch, if you can't go out like that in the game 4, bro. Like the game was it was a good game. I mean, OKC kept pulling off, Minnesota kept bringing it back. You know what I'm saying? It was a good game back and forth, but I mean, Ant was really not much of he was pretty much ineffective though. Like you can't get shut down like that in a game 4. You got to be able to.
Is that because of him, no, Ox, or is it because of them? I mean,
that's my point. Of course, it's not because it's because of them. Ox. But still, you can't you
gotta find a way.
You still chill. I got if you arm like that.
I don't know what I don't know though. I don't know what I don't know.
That's why I brought Finch into it. That's why I brought Finch into it.
Ant ain't as good as we think he is. Maybe Ant isn't as good as we think he is yet. He getting there. He just ain't as good as we think he is yet.
Yeah, no, he has all the stuff, all the tools. Coach Finch got to teach him certain ways to get open or run certain ways for him to catch the ball with Lou Dort not all over him. Like put there has to be some point in the game where Ant can break free, or it's gonna be tough. But I mean, I'm holding him to great standards though.
Sure,
I'm not talking about just being a good basketball player or a mediocre basketball player. I'm talking about that next level of player. You know what I'm saying? To get into those, to get in those talks that we think he's gonna be in eventually. Right, you know, I think you got to be able to, he's big, strong. I think he's strong enough to be able to break free when he gets the ball. I mean, it's not like they're not letting Lou Dort just grab him and hang on to him. You know what I mean? This basketball, like I need you to be able to work something out. There's ways to work around it, catching it on the go.
Right.
I think in the second half, they were running a lot more like pin down actions to where he can turn the corner and get to the rim more effectively. It's just the Thunder packed up the paint the second he got past the free throw line and he had to swing the ball. And it created swinging across the floor and they got some open shots. But I do think if he had like a pull-up mid-range shot that he could consistently rely on, he would have been able to score from that as well, especially when they started making decisions quicker, because you can see that Ant was being used as an off-ball player a lot more in the second half. So where they were moving the ball a lot more consistently, and Ant could create advantages out of an advantage that was already created by moving the ball more. So let's say if they're swinging the ball a lot, Ant comes off a pin down, and now he can turn the corner and just pull right into like a 15, 16-foot jump shot. I think that could be really effective. That's something he should work on.
And I think he has that, but as Mike Tyson once said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah. Right. So when that stuff kind of gets thrown by the wayside, I always looked at guys being effective. When stuff doesn't work early, I always looked at it like football. And John D, you being a football fan, you can appreciate this. Because we get stopped on the run once, twice, don't stop running the football. Keep running. We're gonna break this hole.
D lineman gonna wear down, man.
Yeah, eventually, keep running the football. We're gonna get one, I promise you. And once we get one, now this thing opens up. Well, if Anthony Edwards is coming off screens where Lou Dort is bumping him, okay, don't run away from that. Okay, don't run away from that kind of action. If he's pushing you further away from the basket, that's fine. But keep in that area that you want to operate in. That's where I feel like it's mental, because I don't want to get into a pushing and shoving match with him, but I don't want him to think that, one, he can just have his way with me. So I am going to go back to this. So with me going back to this, I'm going to find other ways to come off these screens. Am I going to come off this screen with a fade? Am I going to come off this screen on a curl? Am I going to come off this screen straight pop and ask for it? I'm not just going to allow you to push me further away from the basket. But to Ox's point, Ox, I don't know what I don't know, right?
True.
I don't know what I don't know. And once I learn this, and once I become more effective at this, then we can have different conversations about him. But as of right now, I still feel like he's in that space where he's learning. I will tell you this, Ron. We've seen this movie before.
3-1?
About 10 years ago, we've seen this movie before. However, what we don't do is we don't give Oklahoma City enough credit for what they've done. Like, all we talk about is, they were down 3-1. They were up 3-1, and they lost. Let's not act like this Oklahoma City team wasn't down 2-0 to the San Antonio Spurs and then mopped them dudes and came back and won that series. That's happened before. Like, we can't.
Sure, that ain't happening, sure.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Because these are the people that I listen to.
Is over.
These are the people that I listen to when they tell me, they was up 3-1 before. I'm like, okay, sure. We can talk about that, but let's not act like Oklahoma City has not been down in the series and come back and won. They've done that before. And they've also held leads. They've also done that too. So I feel like they're better than this Minnesota team. I feel like the offensive rebounding and the second chance points was the difference, and the turnovers was the difference. I always felt like Oklahoma City's ability to turn you over and convert on those turnovers, I always felt like that was their calling card. Their offense isn't great, to be honest with you. And if I'm being honest, Sean D, I don't think they did a terrible job on Shai yesterday. Yeah, he went for 40. Yeah, he did. I ain't gonna argue that point. He did go for 40, but I don't think they did a terrible job on him. A lot of those shots was tough shots.
Yeah,
like a lot of those shots was tough.
He would have to really create separation. We saw a lot of opportunities of him just like attacking Dante DiVincenzo and getting him in the post to get some really good looks for himself. Yep. That happened a lot down the stretch. But I want to say this before we move on. The fact that the Thunder generate so many turnovers is why I have them blowing out Minnesota in Game 5. Like, at home, you have a chance to go to the finals for the first time in 10 plus years. OKC beating them by 20. I'm sorry. I think OKC is beating them by 20. At home, a chance to go to the finals with one of the best home crowds in the playoffs. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, John D. Whatever Minnesota has, I don't think Minnesota last night was defeated. No, I think that they're going to come out with some pride in Game 5. I do. I think they're going to come out with some pride in Game 5. I think that Oklahoma City can end this thing early, because everything Minnesota has, I think you're going to get it in that first half. And they got an opportunity to choke these dudes out and end this early and not play around with them.
Also, before we move on to what's up, Real Talk? Before we do, I just want to make sure to get this off, because I want to go ahead and just walk something back real quick. Because like I just said, like I expressed to you, Chill, I need Ant to be able to be effective. I need to walk that back. Him and SGA are not in the same tier.
They're not
at all. I was trying to tell you
because all season I had SGA MVP. I also was saying SGA is the second best player in the league. So I've been very high on SGA. I wasn't trying to discredit him. I just thought Ant was coming with a little bit more. My thing is, I want to ask y'all this. And that's still no disrespect to Ant. He's still a very good basketball player.
It's the big difference between 23 and 26, though. So Ant can't get there. He just
I'm not
got to work on stuff.
I'm not talking about them at the same age. I'm just talking about them right now.
I'm talking about the gap though between where SGA is right now and where Ant is. Ant got a little work to do.
I feel the same way, but this is where the work is. I think what I'm about to ask y'all right now. And yes, and it's still better than Luka. Just today, y'all. There's another season coming up. Y'all relax. There's another season coming up. I'm just talking about today.
Come on. You know how I am.
I'm gonna move on. But so I want to know this, Chill. When it's a 1-point game, 2-point game, and Ant does catch the ball, get a good look, and he got the ball on right wing high. We don't know what Ant's gonna do. Ant don't know what he's gonna do. Ant doesn't have. I haven't seen Ant come with those 2 or 3 go-tos. I haven't seen Ant come with that spot to get to. You know what I'm saying? He's more so just playing ball instead of like methodically picking you apart. Sure. Where SGA, I can see, okay, SGA got Dante on him. He got his back to him. He taking one to the left, one to the right, one to the left, bumping him, coming over the shoulder, bow.
Sure.
He's coming through, probing through, getting a little layup like this, falling on the ground, flop. I know what SGA is coming with. SGA know what he coming with, and he got that. Ant's not there yet. Ant's not thinking methodically of, okay, I can bang him, jab, one count, bam. You know what I'm saying? And I need that. I need Ant to really get in that last.
I think he has like. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
It goes back to what you said, Ox. I mean, I don't know what I don't know yet. I'm still learning how to be effective as a scorer. I'm still learning how to read defenses. I'm still understanding exactly how to get to where I'm trying to get to. Bryant, Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, James Harden. They look past that first defender. They're looking past that first defender, and they're looking at what spot am I trying to get to? Okay, once I get by him, I'm trying to get here. What is he going to do when I get there? Nothing really. KD is already looking past that first defender. I'm looking at that spot that I'm trying to get to. Ant isn't there yet. Ant's still young enough and dumb enough, by the way, to think that he could just get around anybody and just get to the rim. He's not thinking about getting to spots. He's not thinking about being effective in certain spaces. He's not thinking about that. I'm just bigger, faster, and stronger than you, so I can just jump over you. I can just blow by you. Well, that works in January when you're playing against Toronto. That works in February when you're playing against Portland. That doesn't work in the Western Conference Championship when you got a 7-game series and we've done our homework on you and we know exactly what it is that you want to do. So Ant is in a space right now. Ant is in a space right now where I'm still learning how to be an effective scorer, and I'm not there yet. And it doesn't help that I'm going up against an Oklahoma City defense that's exposing all of my flaws, not some or most, but every last flaw that I have. That doesn't help.
See, Ox, you want to call out Anthony Edwards right now, and
I'm not calling him out.
Well,
calling him out.
You called him out. It might not be. You might not have no malicious intent, but you called him out and said that
Right.
I want to call out the 30-year-old that has been here
Julius?
before. Yes.
Yeah.
Julius. What the hell? Like that was criminal.
Yesterday?
Yes. Yesterday and the day before, but more so yesterday. Like, really? You didn't got this far. You didn't deal with all this slander. People trash you, and you got the opportunity to prove yourself. And Julius, that's what you do?
Interesting.
1 for 7. 7 rebounds. You just got benched the other night. I'm just.
Well, I'm not mad at the 7 boards. I'm not mad at 7 boards, but
and Julius got to play better than that. He got to play better.
Julius still had
a
last night was terrible. He still had a good playoffs though. I mean, because their playoffs is over. You know what I'm saying? It's done. But Julius still had a good playoffs. But these last couple been real bad on him.
I think it's dope when you actually run up on teams and you get humbled. Like, all right, we ain't that good. We good though. And you actually run up on a team and find out, nah, we ain't there yet. We getting close though. And I mean, to Julius's credit, I mean, game 3, he was really effective. Like I said, a lot of quick hits, and he was awesome. And he was really good in game 1, right? I felt like he was really good in game 1 also. But I think Oklahoma City, when they adjust their defense and they basically turn their focus to you and all of your flaws, it just makes you look ridiculously bad. It just does. And Julius Randle, in the 2 of these 4 games, he's looked ridiculously bad. 2 of the other 2 games, he looked solid. He looked really good. But just last night, we got to remember, one, who we going up against. Ron, this is on paper the best defense in NBA history. That's what we're looking at right now. This Minnesota offense, for all intents and purposes, has been good, and Julius Randle has been good, really good in the playoffs. I think Julius Randle was their best player in that Warriors series.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can make an argument he was their best player in that Lakers series too.
Yeah.
Right. With that being said, what I got away with in the first round, I ain't gonna get away with that in the second round. What I got away with in the second round, I ain't gonna get away with that in the Western Conference Finals. What I got away with in the Western Conference Finals, I ain't gonna get away with that in the finals because the teams are better. The schemes are different, way different. So, am I gonna put a lot of this on Julius? Yes, I am, but I'm not gonna completely destroy him off the strength of him going up against the team that he's going up against, because this team that he's going up against, they're fantastic. I couldn't do that, real talk, if I said, Shaq, that got swept by the Bulls, the 72-10 Bulls. Well, that's one of the best defenses that the NBA has ever seen. So
I agree. I know Julius had a tough game last night, but for me, like, that was the best performance that we saw from Jalen Williams last night. Both ends of the court. That was one of the better two-way games that we've seen from a wing in like playoff game in quite some time. That was very impressive. Last night was, like, to me, the game where I was like, oh, okay, see, like, if Chet and J-Dub gonna hoop like that offensively,
that team is hard.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. They're gonna win the championship. If they're gonna play like that, they're gonna win the championship.
Real talk.
Because Shai's gonna always, whether
officially
officially or unofficially, he's gonna get his 30. Right? You can pistol Shai in for 30 pretty much on a night-to-night basis.
Real talk. Do you think when they
making skillful moves and J-Dub hitting bump fades and left hands like scoop layups and bro, if they gonna hoop like that, they got it, bro. Ain't nobody gonna beat that team if them 3 hooping like that. It's raps. Okay, so
real talk. If that with them playing that good, I don't understand how the game was so close. I know J-Mac was balling, but I'm like,
Nikhil 20 points, Dante DiVincenzo.
The Wolves was hooping too, though.
They was
if the Wolves stars,
that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know, because when Chill said, "Oh, this team is just better than them," I didn't want to disagree, but I'm still just running through that in my head because I still don't know how much I believe that.
No, I was right there with you, and I was actually going to step in. I'm assuming the same thoughts that went through your head went through my head. The reason why I didn't step in and say anything is because, yes, the Wolves damn near played perfectly. They're all their role players, but if your star players ain't gonna step up, then we gotta factor that in too. We can't say, the Wolves are just as good as them. Julius Randle just has to play good.
Exactly.
No, Julius Randle just gotta play good. And gotta learn what to do against, in clutch situations and in big games like this. If they don't know that, and if we don't know what to expect from Julius, then I can't say that they're better. Real talk just said it. We know what we get from Shai every night.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's 20 free throws or 10 free throws, we know that boy getting 30. And then one of these other 2 guys, I'm higher on J-Dub than a lot of you guys. I believe J-Dub is like that. Last night didn't convince me anything. It just further proved how I feel about it. And you guys are high on Chet. So it's like, bro, we know what we're gonna get from them. We know iHeart can give us a smooth 15 to 17. We know one of them boys can come off the bench shooting. Casey Wallace and Lou Dort can combine for 7 threes. They just got so much over there. And it's like Minnesota, like, you guys have to play like this. Like, them other guys got to make threes, and then the main guys got to get to it. And it's just like it's more that can go wrong with Minnesota as opposed to OKC.
When OKC was fighting off Minnesota's runs, because Minnesota they were getting back in the game. Like, OKC would throw them 9 in the hole, they'd throw them 11 in the hole, and then Minnesota would come back and go on a 7-0 run. To your point, real talk, that damn Chet, he'd crack a 3 and he'd quiet that down. Here they come, -7. Here we come. Then Chet will step back where Nas is giving him this much room. You can't give him that much room at the long ball line because he's going to crack that. And he cracks it again. And that 4-point lead goes right back up to 7. And you get a turnover. And then they're back up to 9 again. So I feel like Chet was crucial in what they were doing last night. He was big. And I got to give Chet credit what he was doing at the rim last night, too. I got to give him credit for what he was doing at the rim
last
night.
block against J-Mac. Like that
was a game-saving block.
Off him, tried to go with the left, and he caught that up the left. Yeah, they hit a bunch of the big three for OKC hit a bunch of like momentum stopping shots. Just like you said, Chill, like Minnesota get it back within 3. Here comes Shai with a bump fade. Here comes J-Dub with another catch and shoot 3. Mind you, eventually Minnesota, like I know the plan is maybe gap help a lot off of J-Dub and have him shoot 3s.
Yeah.
By the time he makes his 4th or 5th, though,
we got close.
Maybe it's time to stop doing that so blatantly, because he's getting just wide open, just one pass, he's catching it, looking it at the fixing the laces. Like, if he gonna hit him, like, you got to stop defending him like that. You know what I'm saying? Here come J-Dub with another spot 3. Here come Chet with an up fake dunk or something like that, and then they back up 5, back up 7 every single time.
The plan, like I said, the plan looked like it was, we're taking Julius and Ant out of this game. You guys are going to have to do it, and they did for the most part, right? DiVincenzo looked great. This kid Shannon looked like he gonna make him some money. This kid Shannon this kid Shannon comes off the bench. He's like, I'm out here. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna put me back on the bench. Okay, fine.
But Chill, he's played like that all season in the spurts that he plays.
Yeah.
When Shannon he's one of the most explosive players in the NBA.
Right.
And when he get that ball, he putting his head down and he getting to that rack.
Yes, he is.
I'm talking about, and he getting to where he's trying to go to. And if you cut him off, he got that 2 dribble pull up where he got a sweet stroke too. He a lefty. Like he's really. I'm actually surprised that he's not in the rotation more. But part of that is because DiVincenzo,
Is he a Chicago guy? I didn't.
He went to Illinois.
Went to
Texas Tech first, but
I didn't know he was a Chicago guy though.
He should have came out of college after his sophomore year. He was like that. I think he got in like some trouble or something like that.
Yeah, he got into some nonsense, and it was exactly that. It was nonsense. Some chick said he took advantage of her, only to find out that no, he didn't, and that caused his draft stock. That caused his draft stock to drop.
Yeah, because they found out he was innocent, but that was like a week or 2 before the draft, so his draft stock was already plummeted.
Yeah. So they ended up stepping off of him. But Ron, I love this kid's game. His 2 dribble pull up, going with the weak hand, with the right hand, he's really good. On top of that, he's at the long ball line. He looks like a rook that's dumb enough not to know that I'm just out here. I'm just gonna rock. And whatever happens. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna put me on the bench? All right, I'm on the bench anyway. What difference do it make?
My back's already against the wall.
Right. I'm already on the bench anyway. So what difference do it make? So I feel like he's one of those guys that he's gonna be in their rotation next year.
Next year for sure.
Definitely next year he's gonna be in their rotation.
He'll help him out a lot.
Yes, we will definitely see. Now I know the series is over, so look into next year. I mean, what kind of changes does Minnesota have to make? How close are they?
I think it's in-house. I really think it's in-house. I think McDaniels still continuing to take the step as a scorer, 3-point shooter, ball handler, driver, things of that nature, just taking that next step. Anthony Edwards improving in the mid-range and as a playmaker.
Yep.
I don't know what you do with Julius Randle. I think you keep him, but then again, it's like the reason you traded for Julius Randle was to free up salary cap. But it's like now Julius Randle's probably going to want to get paid. So it's like, was the trade like, what was the trade really for? Because now you're probably going to pay Julius Randle. I know it won't be Karl Anthony Towns money, like top 10 highest contracts in the NBA. Right. But you also going to have to pay Nickeil Alexander-Walker this offseason. You're going to have to pay Naz Reid. Like there's going to be guys you're going to have to pay. So you have the 17th pick in the draft. You can go a lot of ways that way. You can go a lot of opportunities that way. It's going to be very interesting to see what Minnesota does, but I do think a lot of their development is in-house. I don't think you shake up this roster too much just yet, because Anthony Edwards can still show that he can possibly grow into that lead ball handler role, and you can possibly start Dante DiVincenzo next to him or Nickeil Alexander-Walker, to where Mike Conley may not be that open mismatch that other teams can attack, even though Mike Conley does
he's
well.
50.
He's still, exactly, he's just older. So yeah, I think a lot of the development is in-house before they make any groundbreaking moves.
I think so. I don't think that. I mean, again, Ron, a lot of times there's teams that are just put together better, and I don't think that this Minnesota team, as young as they are with the pieces that they have, I don't think they're there yet. And it's also matchup contingent, and a lot of it is luck. You know, like what happened with the Warriors. I mean, you lucked out with Steph getting hurt. I think that's a different series if Steph plays. I'm not saying that they don't beat them, but I do think it's a different series if Steph plays. But there has to be some improvement. And the thing more than anything, John D just brought it up, was the money situation. You got a 19-9 guy coming back next season who's got an option. Now, if he opts into that player option, you got him for $28 million. Where you getting a 19-9 guy for $28 million in the NBA today? You're not getting that. You're not getting that from anybody. But you also got guys like Naz Reid, who I can't let Naz Reid just walk out the front door, Ron. I can't. No.
Hell no.
I can't just let him walk out the front door, especially to like Houston or some damn body. I'm not trying to hear
Houston
that.
Will snatch him up.
What?
Houston will snatch him up fast. Anybody will snatch up Naz
Right.
Reid quick though.
I cannot just let him walk out the front door. No.
Ron.
I definitely have to see. I definitely have to find out what my options are with him. Right. I still got guys on a rook deal. I still got Shannon on his rook deal. Right. I already paid Ant. I still got this kid Dillingham. I got him on his rook deal. I think they just extended. I think they just extended your man McDaniels, but there's some improvements that need to be made from this crew, but I don't think it's something drastic. I don't think it's something.
I think they need an upgrade at the point guard position. One thing that's been sticking out like a sore thumb is just like Mike Conley isn't good. Like that is a reality. I don't like the idea of like trying to turn Ant into the main ball handler. I think some guys are two guards. Like you would like them to improve their ball handling and playmaking for sure. But like to me, Ant's a two. I think Ant operates better not having the ball in his hand like the whole game. And
real talk, what do you mean when you say keep going? I'm sorry, keep going.
One person I think they should look into, because I don't know what all the Cavs have going on though, but like I would like to see like Darius Garland on Minnesota.
What do you think the Timberwolves
and then have him be the point guard, and then have Ant be your two. I think that takes it to another level offensively.
One, what he would cost, and number two, Cleveland doesn't think that they're that far away. So I don't think that they're interested in trading any of them dudes, unless it's about bread, right? Because
who would they trade him for, though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Minnesota got the assets.
Who would Cleveland take? Like J-Mac?
I don't know.
I'm not giving the Timberwolves Darius Garland. Like the Cleveland can't do that.
No.
Like I'm not saying Cleveland can't come off of Darius Garland for the right asking price, but you're not giving him to Minnesota unless you know what I'm saying. You giving me everything. Like,
I think
I can't be responsible for putting Darius Garland over there.
If you can get Fred VanVleet on a decent contract this offseason, or did they extend him?
They didn't.
No, not yet. Yeah. He pushed it back to June 30th.
Yeah,
push back the signing date.
Okay, I think that could be a guy to where he can just set the floor for your offense. He can make some outside shots. He can create dribble penetration, and he's not a cone defensively. You know, I think that could be somebody they could go after. I was thinking Drew Holiday, because Drew Holiday is going to get really expensive, and I don't know how much Boston wants to stay on that contract, but I think that's more of a long shot for Boston. There's a couple of guards that I can think of, but off the top of my head, I can't really think of any more. But there are a few guards out there that you can make some moves for. But then again, it's like how locked in are you with Rob Dillingham? Like, do you really want to see where that could go? Because he's shown some flashes this season, but I don't know if he'll be ready as far as early next year to be contributing for a team that's trying to go win a championship. Like Minnesota has been to the conference finals back-to-back years. Like this is the clear step is getting over the hump and going to the finals. So I think any move within the next 6 months is going to be with getting to the finals in mind. So I don't know how much Rob Dillingham would be considered to be their lead guard going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
I think an assortment or a package, like I would have to go see like how the money works, but because I think Cleveland needs to get away from that double small guard lineup, right? Like me personally, I think that when the last
time. Go ahead, real talk. Go ahead. Don't let me.
I think they need to get away from that. So like trying to get a Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Dante DiVincenzo to pair next to D Mitch and kind of let that be your backcourt, and D Mitch probably have the ball a little bit more in Cleveland. But I do think they can. There's probably a package that could get together because I think they kind of need what both team has. Like Cleveland needs to get out of that D Mitch Darius Garden backcourt. That's not going to work. It's too small. It's not going to work defensively ever. And they tried to like mitigate it with 2 7-footers like rim protectors in the back, but it hasn't worked out.
I feel you, real talk, and I do think that it is a good avenue between a good trade between those two teams. I just don't think that Cleveland feels the way that some of us feel about Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. I mean, you remember a couple weeks ago when I proposed the Giannis for Darius Garland trade? Just because I would like to just give Donovan Mitchell the ball. We seen him have the ball in that series, and he went crazy. And on top of that, he a solid distributor too. Like I think it's a little bit redundant with what they got going on, but it's also been successful too. Has it been highly successful? No, but they can coexist with each other. But back to Minnesota though, I think we all know that these dudes need a point guard desperately. And with all due respect to Mike Conley, they
got to upgrade at the league.
Yeah, you're not getting it done. So I'm eager to see who their starting point guard will be next year. Because I mean, to Real Talk's point, if they get somebody that's dynamic like Darius Garland, I think that opens up a whole nother world, a universe where Anthony Edwards can really flourish.
I just feel like we're asking.
Breaks, that's breaking down the defense. You can't load up on Ed because this other dude can get in the paint at will. And if that is the case, load up on Ed. This dude just gonna kill you. Have that other dude. They got one guy that can get in the paint whenever he wants. That's Anthony Edwards. Outside of that, who else can you rely on to even get an open shot for somebody else or get downhill whenever they want to?
Is it Darius Garland? Because I'm thinking somebody cheaper, right? I'm thinking somebody cheaper. I'm thinking like what does Lonzo Ball look like in this offense? What does Colin Sexton look like in this offense? Because Colin Sexton is one of the guys that can get downhill with the best of them.
I wouldn't be mad at Colin.
Somebody that I was thinking about, but I'm not the most sold on this just because of his age. But Anthony Black is somebody I was just thinking about over like the past 30 seconds, to where Orlando is a team that clearly needs shooting. You have Dante DiVincenzo. You may be able to grab a shooter like Liam McNeely from the draft, and that may be enough to be like, look, Jalen Suggs is probably going to be your guard for the future, or at least one of the members of that backcourt, and you would probably want somebody next to him that can shoot a little better. So maybe if you can run Jalen Suggs, Dante DiVincenzo, Franz Paolo, and then whoever your center is to start the season, and then you get that 17th pick off the bench, you give us Anthony Black, who can play make, who can rebound, who can defend, who can push the pace and play next to Ant, 6'7". I think that's a really good move. It's just the fact that he's not the best shooter right now. So that's the only pushback I would have.
We've seen guys improve shooting over the course of a season, though. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't expect Anthony Black to be a knockdown long ball shooter or to be, an elite mid-range shooter within the season. But if he can be to a space where he's respectable, and he's still on his Rook deal too, would Orlando be interested in handing him over? Because they got Suggs, right? They got Suggs in their lineup, and I think he's their future. Ron and I already had this conversation. I want to give Black the ball in Orlando.
Yeah, I think they drafted Black. I think they drafted Black not knowing Jalen Suggs was going to break out the way he did that season.
That was the problem.
So it's like you're really good, but I think Anthony Black would be so much better if he was in another situation with the ball in a starting lineup to where he can be a floor general and a defender. So
Yeah, he would definitely help out a lot on defense. I think he's a little better on offense than he gets credit for. But I'm also in the minority when it comes to Minnesota. Y'all are probably going to disagree with this, but I think they starting point guard sitting right there on the bench.
You think it's Dillingham?
I'm giving Rob Dillingham the ball, and I'm saying go. Defensively, it may cause some issues, but we got Anthony Edwards, we got Jaden McDaniels, you got Rudy Gobert on the back line. We know we know you're going to be a liability on defense just because you're so small. Yep. We just need you to make up for it in other areas. And as a matter of fact, you've been behind Mike Conley this whole season. So hopefully you took a trick or two from him. But offensively, Rob Dillingham he's nice.
Which goes back to my original theory, Ron, because, I mean, John D., you're a draft guy. And my original theory was maybe your point guard is in the draft. Well, there he is right there on the bench. You just got him in the draft last year. So maybe he might be that guy. Now, a lot of people, they talk about him being small, but I mean, him being small, so this kid Brunson in New York is not 6'5". So let's chill out with that, with the whole small thing. Darius Garland averaged 20 a game. So there's guys who can get buckets, and there's guys who can distribute the basketball and pass the basketball. You don't have to be 6'5" in order to do that. We've seen guys that are effective even when they're small. I can appreciate real talk about Mike Conley, because Mike Conley is old, yes, and in this role, because I still think he can play in the league. Because Chris Paul at 40 years old can still play. Mike Conley can still play. I don't want Chris Paul on my career as my starting point guard at 40 years old, and we trying to win the NBA championship. Mm-hmm. I don't want that. So same logic with Mike Conley. He's 37 years old, and his best days are probably behind him. And to upgrade, maybe this kid Dillingham needs one more year on.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Is my question. Do we have that time with him though?
What I would want from Rob Dillingham is to make your outside shots, whether it's off the catch, whether it's out of pick and roll, and learn how to read a defense to where you can make decisions consistently, effectively, and quickly, and then try and add a couple of pounds, just because we know every second, especially in high leverage situations, you're going to be attacked. And if it's a team that can attack and have multiple guys that can make good decisions, like, for example, if the Timberwolves would have went to the finals against the Pacers and Rob Dillingham was getting significant minutes, they were sending Pascal at him. They're sending Nesmith at him. They're sending Nembhard at him. And all those guys can make decisions. To where if Rudy Gobert has to step up and help on Pascal Siakam, he can make the dump off pass to Miles Turner. Miles Turner can swing to Tyrese. And Tyrese makes every single decision as quick as possible. So what I'm looking at from Rob Dillingham is just to be able to knock down a shot consistently, be able to manage the floor and just be a floor general, and to, did I say knock down shots? But add some strength. Yeah. Add some strength, like 10 to 15, 20 pounds, like, just so he can be able to, like, hold himself. Because we look at some of these smaller guards, like Cason Wallace is 6'2", 6'3". He's strong. Jalen Brunson's 6 foot. He's strong. Darius Garland is smaller, and he's a little bit on the skinnier side. That's why a lot of people bring up, like, look, maybe this smaller backcourt isn't going to work. Just because if you're going to be that undersized, you have to have, like, a bit of strength on you to where you can withstand some of that stuff. Like Fred VanVleet does it. Fred VanVleet is very strong, and he's very scrappy to where he can pass on defense for being 6 foot at times.
I think the problem with Minnesota, like, waiting on Dillingham, is I don't know what their timeline is. I don't know, like, because they've had a couple, to me, their last 2 seasons, they've been good enough to win a championship, and won't win it because Ant's not there yet as a player, in my opinion. That's kind of why they won't. But they've been a championship caliber team the last 2 seasons. So do you have, like, some years to give Rob Dillingham? Because it sounds like John D. outlined a lot. That's not you're 1 year away. Reading defenses, becoming a consistent pull-up shooter in the NBA, and putting on weight and knowing how to sustain that and play with the new weight, that's more than one all season away. And again, I don't know where they are like now, as far as, are they trying to win right now? Because all of their rosters or roster moves imply that they are trying to win right now. And I don't know if Rob Dillingham is a win right now player.
It sounded to me though, real talk, like your issue is with Ant. Ant isn't there yet, and like
I
that
think
could be next year. That could be in another 2 years.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so if that's if that's the case, if we got to wait another year, if we got to wait another 2 years for Ant, is it fair that maybe Dillingham could develop into that within these next 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, if Ant isn't good enough until he's like till a few years from now, then that works, you know. But if Ant is ready by next season, then it's like, okay, we're trying to develop a point guard, but our franchise player is like ready and good enough right now.
Right.
Well, here's the thing though, real talk. Ant is 23, right?
Yeah.
The timeline has never been a 32-year-old Rudy Gobert. The timeline was never a 30-year-old Julius Randle. The timeline may have been Karl Anthony Towns. But he in New York now. The timeline is a 23-year-old Anthony Edwards. That is your timeline. Now, whether you
Jaden
get 10 years
McDaniels right
from
next to him.
Jaden McDaniels right next to him. So whether you get 10 years, 12 years, 15 years from now, however, Anthony Edwards is the timeline. And it's like, obviously, you want to have a sense of urgency and you want to win today, but it's not necessarily a rush. My thing is, John D just said Jaden McDaniels. Nas Reed is right there. We just talked about Rob Dillingham. We talked about Terrence Shannon. We talked about Jalen Clark. He got a nice young core that's, I believe, is going to give the league hell for, once again, the next 8 to 10 years. The thing about it is, it's more so just about getting to the playoffs and getting these guys some experience. And it's getting all his experience. Terrence Shannon just got some experience. Jaden McDaniels, he's starting to, he getting everything that he needs to get in these last 2 years, conference finals. I think you really just, just keep doing what you're doing. And like,
that's why
they gonna get over the hump.
Yeah, that's why I said last night in the chat. I only said 5 years, but you know, that's because anything can happen. But
what'd you say in the chat?
About and J-Mac versus SGA and J-Dub. Those that too, like I don't really care about who's better, or who we all think is better, or this or that. I'm just talking about that battle. You know, J-Mac and J-Dub and SGA for the next 5, 8, 10 years, whatever. That's gonna be some good basketball. And I'm not only talking about playoffs. I'm talking about, you know, in the 4 times they play each other in the season too. Like I'm gonna be tapped in for every time they match up.
There's a lot of young talent in the West, man. It's ridiculous.
All right, fellas, this is a good time. Everybody out there, to download the PrizePicks app, because you can run your game, control your game, and win your game with PrizePicks. Now, here's the cool thing about PrizePicks. When you play just $5, you will get $50 back instantly when you use promo code PANEL. And PrizePicks is very simple. You download the app, you use promo code PANEL, and you select players, and you choose whether you want to go more or less on their stat line for that day. And essentially, it's so easy that we're going to show you how it's done right here and now. Now, as you can see, $10 turns into $100 with TJ McConnell going more on his PRA of 14. That's a good pick. We got Jalen Brunson going more than 30 points. That's a good pick. We got Mitchell Robinson going more than 4 offensive rebounds. If you've been watching the series, that's a good pick. And last but not least, we got Tyrese Halliburton, the best guard in the East, going more than 30.5 points. Ox, you should have took the 50. You should have took the more than 50 for Hallie. But that's all good. But this is how we rocking today, y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about it, and let me know if y'all like it. Oh, and by the way, it's another app called Factor Meals. And the cool thing about Factor Meals is, well, they will make this your best season of the year with nutritious 2-minute meals that, quite frankly, it's going to be some of the best thing you ever had. Eating well has never been this easy. You just heat it up and you enjoy it, giving you more time to really just do whatever else you got to do. We all like freedom. We all like convenience. Well, you get it right here at Factor Meals. So get outside instead of prepping and cooking all day. Factor Meals, they arrive fresh, ready to eat, perfect for any active and busy lifestyle. With 45 weekly options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, protein plus, keto, and quite frankly, a bunch of other options. It's limitless over here. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's time to savor the summer a lot more than you savored your spring. So let's get into it. Get started at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off and use code PlayersChoice50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's PlayersChoice50 off at factormeals.com/PlayersChoice50 off for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Let's get to it, y'all. All right, fellas. Well, I want to run this by you guys. So you guys remember that there was a season 1 of the starting 5?
Yep.
Who was all on there again for season 1?
And
it was just DeMontis.
And Jimmy, LeBron, and Tatum.
Yep.
And then this year we got Shai, Hallie, KD, Harden, and Jaylen Brown.
When does that start?
Probably deep into because they did it last year. They did it like a couple of weeks before the season started. I think they're probably going to do the same thing this year because they're still recording for Hallie and Shai. Like their season isn't over yet. So they're probably going to take majority of the offseason to edit, put it together, and it's probably going to be released like sometime in early September.
So
Halliburton is going to have so many moments in that show. It's disgusting.
Literally all of them. Like I think Harden's going to have some really good moments. The only person is like JB didn't have the best season. So this.
But Halliburton got the game, all them game winners and stuff.
Like that's going to be crazy.
Man.
They picked perfectly. Like in my opinion.
You guys see the storylines that's about to happen? So first off, it's looking like, and this is the most glaring one, we get SGA's MVP season.
Yep.
Historical MVP season, all of this. We get them going to the finals. It's also looking like we are going to get Halliburton's overrated year. And that whole thing stemming over into them making the finals. And you get 2 people on here with the finals matchup. I know a lot of you guys think the Knicks are going to come back, yada, yada, yada. But as of right now, we got 3-1 and we got 2-1. So it's looking like signs are pointing towards we get a Hallie and SGA matchup. And we get to see this in this series. Then you go to James Harden. And obviously the Clippers had a pretty good season. Harden had to carry for a majority of the season. So we get to see that angle and how that is. Get to see them go game 7.
You think they're going to dig into that game 7 and how atrocious he was and how he sold Kawhi? You think they're going to talk about that? Or you think they're going to cut him selling Kawhi out the show? What you think?
I think they're going to cut it out.
I think they're going to.
They need to scrap his whole entire everything they filmed with James Harden. They need to burn that shit. Throw it away. We don't want to see.
They're going to show how James Harden had to carry that team through the regular season while Kawhi is absent and resting and healing his knee, so he can play the 20 games.
Who carry? You mean Norman Powell?
Nah, Harden carrying.
You mean Norman Powell and Big Zoo?
You saw Norman Powell when Harden wasn't on the court?
Hey, real talk, all I know is I know that I seen James Harden name on the All-Pro team. I did notice that.
Another very interesting plot is they're probably going to be covering Kevin Durant getting traded if that were to happen this offseason. They're probably going to give us some insight about like what KD is feeling like and what teams he may want to go to, because I'm sure it's going to come out after the fact that he gets traded if that were to happen this offseason. I think it will. But if it does happen this offseason, they're going to be able to cover that as well. So they may still be like, hey, KD, we're going to be close to you because this offseason looks like you may be moved. Right. So that's going to be a very interesting storyline. All of them have storylines. It's like we're also going to see how Jaylen Brown's going to be feeling going into next year, knowing that Tatum's not going to be next to him.
And his injury too, from meniscus.
How much of this offseason are they gonna be filming? Or is it this they filmed this season, right? Like, are they gonna?
Yeah, they really do the season because they cut it off at the offseason. They cut it off right after the season was over. So who knows?
Yeah, so we probably I don't know how much we'll get of the summer stuff like with the guys besides Halliburton and SGA. I don't know how much of that we're gonna get. But what would be very interesting though is just seeing kind of behind the scenes and maybe seeing what's going on with KD throughout this season, though. I mean, I think we can all agree this was a rough season for KD as far as success goes. You know what I'm saying? I think, but we all can agree that he wasn't. He was playing good. So
yeah,
I would like to. Yeah, I would like to see what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little more insight into that. I think that's very interesting because a lot of times we do speculate about, what the players are going through. And this is a good behind the scene coverage from Netflix. Good job, guys.
Yeah. It's just going to be interesting to see what angle they take. And I know we're going to get some nasty details just as to what really happened in Phoenix this year. So, yeah, we'll see. I think the Celtics one's going to be good too. Obviously, like they came up short, but the Celtics had a hell of a season this year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
Another 60+ win season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we'll get to see, just how much champagne they was really popping earlier in this season. Like how if they had a championship hangover, but just how it felt to just be the NBA champions, come back. We'll get to see their ring night, all of that good stuff. It's gonna be fire, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that show gonna be. They did a great job season 1. So yeah,
they need to start dropping it right now.
That for real, while Ox bullshit, and they do. They really need to start. I mean, how many times have we seen shows where the whole production wasn't finished, but they did give us something in the beginning? We've seen that all the time. I'm big into power, and season. I don't know. Let's say season 3, episode 10 ain't done yet, but we on episode 2, so they can give it to us, no doubt.
Chill, you be watching Power?
Oh, I will never forgive Tariq St. Patrick for killing his father. Kim forever. Kim forever for killing his father. He's the worst. He is the worst character in the history of television. No doubt about it. The worst. I will never forgive him for killing his father. Ever. Never forgive him for that.
Our little boy was a monster.
Shit, you must not know about Skylar White. Nah, damn, that's the worst motherfucking character ever. Walter should have. Shit. He better than me. He better than me. So I know that.
All right, y'all. Before we do move on, John, I know you wanted to talk about the rookie teams. Yesterday we talked about the All-NBA teams too, but we only really talked about the first team. So I want to talk a little bit more about the second and third team as well. But before we do that, y'all, I do just want to bring back just based off Game 4 from the Thunder and the Wolves. I want to bring back up the fact that we got 74 points or 75 points from what's looking like the next best and biggest big three in the NBA. So I just want to hear how you guys feel about SGA, J-Dub, and Chet moving forward.
I said this earlier. I think 2 out of the 3 are just scratching the surface of how good they can be. I think Chet Holmgren can be a top 15 player in this league just because of the two-way ability. He's been attacking the rim a lot more. He's been way more confident in his three-point shot. And the crazy thing about it is he's only had 1 full season to develop. He misses his rookie year and then misses 50 games in his third year, to where if we can consistently rattle off 2 full seasons where he plays 68 plus games, we're going to start looking at him a lot differently, because I think in the future, I think J-Dub's great. I think for the future, Chet is going to be the second best player and J-Dub's probably going to be the third option, just because I think Chet can be the best defender on the team while being a very good offensive player. So, but J-Dub as well, like when you look at the versatility he brings, being able to play at the point of attack, being able to be a small ball 5 and play a lot of matchups that are bigger than him and rebound and protect the rim as well. That is a really tough team to beat. When all 3 of them figure it out offensively, and J-Dub's being able to consistently create better looks for himself, and Chet is finishing around the rim and getting to the rim consistently while knocking down open shots. It's like you're always, to me, it's like, look, however long Caruso wants to stay, we're gonna draft your replacement maybe a year or 2 before you dip. Same with Dort. Same with Hartenstein. We have the picks. That's why I'm not so anxious to move off these picks, because Chet, SGA, and J-Dub are going to be very expensive. So it's like you keep these picks so you can constantly have a team around them. Like Nikola Topic was a top 5 prospect for me last year. He's sitting on their bench, soaking up everything.
Give me the kid, Ron. Give me the kid, Ron.
You talking to me, Mars. I know you watching, Mars. Hand over the goddamn kid, Mars.
Give me the kid, man. Give me the kid.
You can't give him up. When I hear what John D's saying,
you don't need
that makes me realize how much you can't give him up. You have to keep him.
Like I'm saying, like Topic is 6'6". He's athletic. He has a good feel for the game. He can pass. He can play make. He can read defenses. That's something the Thunder need. Just somebody that can be a secondary playmaker when Shai's not on the floor. Get J-Dub some pin downs at the elbow and be able to drive to the rim and finish around the rim. He's a good free throw shooter. Like his jump shot mechanics are, for me, something that could give me some hope that he can be a guy that can knock down open threes. I'm not saying he's going to be lighting the world on fire from three, but if he's open in the corner, you would have to respect it just based off what I've seen from his free throw line, and the mechanics of his jump shot. So I really like Topic. They have the 15th or 16th pick. I think there's a lot of guys you can go get, and we're gonna forget about him next year. And then 2-3 years down the line, are like, oh, this guy's really good because he's been soaking up knowledge from Lou Dort, Caruso, Case and Wallace. These are the guys you want to learn from. Like, you're gonna want to exactly. There's a such thing as having like bad tutelage in the NBA. Like there's some guys you may not want to learn from. I mean, some knowledge is good knowledge, but it's like Caruso, Dort, Case and Wallace, Dagnall, Hartenstein. These are guys that came up undrafted, came through the G League. Hartenstein bounced from team to team before he got some real burn. Like these are guys that can give you some serious knowledge while you're soaking up playing for a really good team. That's why I'm really high on Jordan Walsh out in Boston. This OKC team is going to be fantastic.
A guy like that though, John D. How you were saying Hartenstein. For him to do that, you got to assume that he's just, he's quite a professional. You know what I'm saying? In order to make it to that point. Go ahead though, Chill. You got it.
But are they though, John? And the reason why I'm asking you that is because I have to bring up the money. And the reason why I got to bring up the money is because, again, Chet's on his rook deal. SGA is up next year for an extension at almost $76 million. J-Dub just made the all-pro team. This throws a monkey wrench in everything we're trying to do because J-Dub is up for a Supermax next year. Right. So this works in New York. This works in Miami or Los Angeles. Shit get real expensive in Oklahoma City fast. And we ain't got the bread in Oklahoma City that they got in New York. We ain't got the bread that they got in Los Angeles. So, yes, we're trying to build our team and we're doing everything that we can to keep our team together for as long as we can. But shit gets real expensive in these small markets.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know that they can pay everybody. I don't know if they're going to be able to pay it.
Right. If we look at that, I think Hartenstein's making $30 million. Like, you draft. Yep. Like, if it's coming down to the point where it's like Hartenstein, I don't know. We love you over here, but we don't know how much longer we're going to be able to keep you. We drafted your replacement a year ago. Like, that's where I'm saying, like, you keep, because it's like it's more realistic to hit on a very good role player in the draft than it is to hit on a superstar. So why I'm saying is, you keep your superstars for as long as you possibly can, and you probably be very conservative or just like don't like what's the word I'm looking for? Don't like have a strong knit bond with the Hartensteins and the Carusos and the Dorts because you might not be able to pay those guys. So it's like you're gonna have to draft the Noah Penda in the draft that's 6'8" and can defend multiple positions and have him learn behind Lou Dort for a season or two because that's probably what we're going to have to do. We have for the next 6 or 7 years, we have multiple first round draft picks, and that's enough to where by the time we're done having those draft picks, we could have knocked off 3 or 4 championships. Who knows? With just the youth we have on this team, the continuity we have on this team to be like, yeah, we're just going to continue to rotate guys in. They're going to learn from a year off guys that we've already been building over the past 3 or 4 years. And we're going to keep this young. We're going to keep this cheap. And we might lose out on guys like Kaysen, who's probably going to have a very big market when it's time for him to hit the open market. Lou Dort's going to have a very big open market. Hartenstein, Caruso, these are guys that other teams are going to want. So it's like maybe we just slow down on just giving out contracts to the Hartensteins and the Carusos and the Kaysens, and we just continue to draft well instead of just throwing these picks at the wall and seeing what superstar we can get.
Just so you know, John, I don't know if you noticed, but they extended Caruso for $90 million. They extended Hartenstein for, I think, $85 million. So these guys are already signed up, and it doesn't help to my point about J-Dub. Because, again, when you got these guys on rook deals, right? You got these guys on rook deals, there's a timeline that you have. But it doesn't help when you have guys like J-Dub making an all-pro team. It doesn't help when you got guys like Chet making an all-pro team at some point. Now things get really expensive fast. So then these contracts start to add up. So guys like Caruso, that $90 million deal, well, it was a bargain before you had to pay J-Dub the Supermax because he made the All-Pro team. It now becomes even more difficult because now I got to pay Chet because he made the All-Pro team and he made the All-Star team now. Now I got to pay him because Hartenstein, this deal actually worked a little while ago. When these guys start to develop as quickly as they do, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for developing, 100%. I'm all for developing, and I'm all for the idea of holding on to your guys for as long as you hold on to them. But when you're in a small market, it becomes a problem because things get expensive fast when you start winning. It just does.
I want to know what type of ownership are we dealing with over there in OKC? Like, is this what they're
snakes?
Well, so I'm saying, like,
savages?
Is this the ownership that's here to have a powerhouse organization? They got multi-billion-dollar company things going on, and this is more of a, this is our trophy, our sport. This is what we do to win. Because if so, chill, you pay what you got to pay. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at this team and you see that these dudes are so young, Chet and J-Dub and even SGA, you think about it, like, this could potentially be one of those trios. You know what I mean? This could potentially be one of those trios.
They don't have a track record of wanting to go into like the luxury tax, but
they also don't have a track record of having a team like this. You know what I'm saying? When you got one of these squads,
when they went to the finals in 12, when they had Russ, KD, and Harden and Ibaka, right? And then they didn't want to pay
James Harden.
Yeah,
James Harden, right?
And so they kind of
but that team wasn't favored to win the championship. They wasn't supposed to beat them Heat anyway. You know what I mean? This team
they actually were favored to beat that team in 12.
By who?
By the betting odds. They were favored to win.
Well, whatever. I don't know what's up in the betting odds, but what I'm saying is this team right here probably gonna win the championship.
That's true, but it's a very similar situation. But I mean, to your point, real talk, aren't you supposed to learn from bad mistakes? I'm pretty sure if they could go back in the time machine, James Harden don't go nowhere. So I mean,
probably
y'all just did this 10 years ago. Are y'all gonna do it again?
That's a good point.
You're talking about a small market. Remember, they ended up paying Ibaka. They saved $30 million not paying James Harden. And in Oklahoma City in 2012, 2013, I think they were the 40th or the 41st market. Now, don't get me wrong.
This a once in a lifetime opportunity, chill. And they're getting it twice. They're getting two chances to have a once in a lifetime opportunity. You have
the money way different today than it was in 2012.
I understand that, chill, but you got to pay that fee.
You're not winning on the cheap in the NBA. Let's be clear about that. I 100%.
So imagine what this does for your town. I've been to Oklahoma City many a time. And what this would do, I think, for them, you know what I'm saying, being a powerhouse in the NBA for a decade, that'll turn the whole city up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll increase revenue.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, chill. I think as a billionaire, you bite the bullet and you get it cracking. You're gonna get it back. You're gonna get that back on the back end. You're gonna get that right back. Don't even trip. Pay that fee. You don't let these boys go nowhere.
Real talk. I think the last time I remember them going over the luxury tax, I think that they were in when they had Anthony and Paul George and Russ. I mean, that was the last time that they went. They had the highest payroll in the league. Now, we didn't have what we have today with the first and the second apron, but they did go over the luxury tax at that point, and they disbanded that thing quickly. Like that they didn't hold on to that long. That did not happen.
Chill. What I'm trying to figure out, and John, you might be able to speak into this a little more. I know Penn was up here. He would definitely know. But if they go into the second apron, let's say they go into the second apron for the next 3 or 4 years, or after next season when J-Dub got to enter his major contract, what implications does that have for them anyways? Like, how is that a bad situation?
So where did that work?
I'm not like too big. I'm not too into like the second apron. I don't know much, but I think I think they start to lose capital if they spend too long in the second apron. That's why, like, the Suns were like, we're going to try and get out of the second apron maybe after this season or next season, depending on how we go. Because the longer you're in the second apron, you're going to start losing draft capital.
Ron, do you understand that as a second apron team, especially when you are a repeat offender, before it was for every dollar you owe $3 in taxes, right? For every dollar. Ron, if you are a repeat offender, it goes up to almost $5. We ain't doing that. We can't afford to do that. We can't afford to do that.
Yes, you can.
No, we can't. We can't
afford to. If these young boys,
if you are a repeat offender, and just like we do have a new deal. It's not like this deal has been in place for the last 8 or 9 years. No, we got a new deal. So this deal is not retroactive if you fell into the luxury tax like years ago. In this one here, if you are a repeat offender, like a first-time offender, if you go into it's like $3 for every dollar. But you keep doing this, it could get up to as many as $5. So Ron, if I don't know, let's say I'm Ron, I'm $80 million over the tax. Ron, that's almost $400 million that I owe in taxes.
And chill, I'm not trying to like frown up on that. I'm not saying that that's not a big deal.
And in
all
Oklahoma
I'm
City,
saying is,
yikes.
All I'm saying is, yes, you will be a repeat offender, but you also got other things that can potentially repeat. Shai can repeat as the MVP. That's revenue to the city. J-Dub can go and be an all-star. That's revenue to the city. If John feels the way he feels about Chet, I'm running a poll right now. Is OKC the best big three in the NBA? 66% of you guys said that they're the best big three right now. So what's that going to look like in 3 years? What's that going to look like in 6 years? What's it going to look like if they repeat as champions? I'm saying all this money that they will be spending, they'll be getting it back. On top of that, and this is my main point. This is the main reason for me asking that. I know, okay, you're in the second apron, you got to pay extra. Cool. But you have to pay to be competitive no matter what. So it's either win a ring and then just get out of it, or you don't have to run around chasing a bunch of free agents if, how John said, all these up-and-coming assets are going to be good.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think best case scenario, they won't say this publicly, but I think OKC front office, right? Best case scenario, you go ahead and win your chip this year. So then when they end up breaking the team up because they're not fit to pay everybody, at least you got a chip out of it, and at least you still have SGA. Mind you, when we have these talks about how bright the future is for these teams, we never take into account the rest of the league around them. Every year, when after somebody was a chip, right? After somebody wins a chip, they're like, "Oh my goodness, this team might go back to back." Oh, the future's so bright. We haven't had a repeat since what? 18, 19, 18, right? Okay, everything looks so hunky dory in OKC now until Giannis is on the Spurs next year, and now that's a whole nother can of worms to like worry about. Like we don't know. It looks, yes, the future definitely looks bright for OKC as we speak.
Stop, John. You already got Luka, you son of a bitch. I'm sick of you. Man,
hey, we're going to get Giannis, too. We're going to get Giannis, too.
Nah,
facts, John D. Facts.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
Facts.
The fact that y'all even want Giannis is
oh, my God. Sorry for cussing. I'm so sick of John and these Laker people, y'all. They worse
Yeah, but that shit just pissed me off. I'm like, we finna get Giannis, too. Come on, bro.
I'm just saying though, consider the rest of the league, bro. But Ron, I do got something to say real quick. Because all you TikTokers, y'all was on my head about that Jordan Scottie Pippen take. All in the comments. Oh my goodness, tariff podcast equipment. Everybody doesn't deserve to talk basketball. Yada, 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 yada. Who is this? Real talk, no fake talk. I mean, they using the one buddy slurs. This is crazy. So then they go out there, SGA and J-Dub, and have the performance of a lifetime.
Take that victory lap.
I wasn't saying that they're Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I was just talking about the archetype of player, the prototype of player. But people get so in their feelings when you mention Michael Jordan. Mind you, 75% of you that are all in your, got your panties in a bunch that I made the comment, Didn't watch Michael Jordan play.
Zesty
Y'all never watched
Jeffries.
Michael Jordan play. Middle school though. It's fine.
Never seen
School
him.
though. It's fine.
Never seen him.
Never seen him.
Mm-mm. So, yeah, to your point, real talk, it is going to be tricky because we can't just think that Oklahoma City is the only one around here just getting better. Like ain't nobody else in the league. Ain't nobody else in the league trying to get better. Like Celtics ain't trying to get better. Toronto ain't trying to get better. Utah, Portland, none of these teams are trying to get better. Just Oklahoma City is the only one drafting right. They're the only one developing their teams. We have seen a bunch of different teams get better. And on top of that, these other teams that have won the championship, they haven't gotten back. I'm on record saying I thought the Celtics was repeating this year. I was wrong on that. 100% I was wrong on that. I thought that Milwaukee could do it again. I didn't anticipate that Middleton was going to get hurt. I thought that Denver could do it again. I didn't think that they had the collapse that they did. So, I mean, these teams are trying to get better, especially because we got the parity that we have in the league today where these other teams see, well, wait a minute, just 2 years ago, Oklahoma City, that was us. That was us in the semifinals, or that was us in the play-in tournament 2 or 3 years ago. That could be us, which leads me to a question that I have for you guys, because I think this, and I think I'm in the minority. Is Oklahoma City who Memphis was supposed to be?
Low key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And what I want you to do, Ron, is
saying.
I don't want you to think about that Oklahoma City team. I'm sorry, that Memphis team that in 22 that was the number 2 seed, just them. I want you to think about them turning into what we thought they were going to turn into. That's what I want you to think about.
Yeah.
I'm more on the side that Ja is what Ant is what Ja was supposed to be. Like
Yep.
I thought they were pushing Ja to be like one of the faces of the NBA, one of the most marketable box office type of players until he ended up screwing that up. But as far as Memphis as a team, they had some really good success early. But I don't want to look at it in hindsight, but at the moment, I wasn't as confident as I was in Memphis at any point that I was this season with OKC, because I thought that like they were at least going to get to the Western Conference Finals for OKC coming into the season. So Memphis, I still think there were some holes in that team.
When you look at it, Memphis is 100% supposed to be here. You had Ja Morant, who took the league by storm, most improved player.
Yep.
He was getting face of the league talks at that moment in time. We thought he was the next superstar.
Yep.
After that, you go Jaren Jackson Jr. We see how good he's got. You know, we expected him to be what he is today. We expected that combination to really take the league by storm. On top of that, they were very young.
Yep.
This is when they had Dylan Brooks. This is when they had they still have Desmond Bane, but this is when they had Desmond Bane. He was still young. It was like you just looking at that team, the excitement that they played with. They had a good defense, all of that. I expected them to really be the best team in the West, like at that moment in time, to be the best team in the West today. But it's like group of guys in OKC.
I mean, OKC, all the 3 players though, right? When you compare it to like Ja, Shai, the star guard, Bane, J-Dub, the 2/wing, and then the big between Triple J and Chet. I mean, at every position, the OKC's players are better.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing, real talk. What I don't want to do is I don't want to compare them, player to player, because I do think that Oklahoma City, from a talent aspect, I do think that they're better. Memphis, what I'm thinking about, what they were turning into. You got, like to Ron's point, you got Ja as the young superstar. He was in the MVP conversation. Well, Oklahoma City's star actually became the MVP, right? Jaren Jackson, the defensive player of the year. Well, Oklahoma City's team became one of the best defenses that the NBA has ever seen, right? So you got Dylan Brooks as an all-league defender. That's J-Dub without the antics, right? So I feel like it started. I feel like it started with the leadership from Oklahoma City, because you had the brash, young, just loud dude in Ja, who I'm fine in the West. Meanwhile, you got the guy in Oklahoma City in SGA he's woven into the crew. He's very team oriented. We're doing this, and this is who that's who we should have been, and that's how we should have done it. That's why I say it. That's why I'm asking the question: is Oklahoma City what Memphis should have been, and that was the design?
Yeah, I mean, they were. It's a similar blueprint for sure. Similar blueprint. Yeah. Just Ja didn't pan out or hasn't panned out to being the player that we thought he was going to be.
Sure.
And I mean, Triple J's actually, I think, good enough. Like Triple J's a really good player. But Ja and Desmond Bain they're not holding up their end of the bargain, in my opinion.
Also, too, though, I mean, and Memphis does have a good supporting cast, but it's not so much OKC's big three. Well, I'm actually gonna run this poll, and I want to hear how you guys feel about it. What is more important for OKC? Like, what would you guys attribute more of their success to? Is it their big three, or is it the rest of the guys? Is it the fact that you have 4 other All-NBA level defenders? Is it the fact that you have Ihart that just brings what he brings to the table? Is it the fact that you got a guy like Caruso that can come off the bench and turn the whole team up? They got all these other pieces. What's more important? And before you guys answer, I know it's easy to say, oh, well, obviously you're going to go with the MVP and the All-NBA level player, but just think about it. How does this OKC team look on a team like the Raptors? Let's say you replace the Raptors' 3 best players and you put SGA, Chet, and J-Dub over there.
I don't think that
they're still a really good team.
I do think that they're a good team.
Do they win 68 games, though?
They're probably not a championship team, but they're a really good team.
And I also think that this Oklahoma City team is built around the architect of Shai. That's why, we have perimeter defenders like we have, right? We got long ball shooters. We got a big who can stretch the defense. Like, this architect is built around him. He's not, and Shai will get off the peel. Like, he's not one of those guys like Brunson or like Luka, who our offense is dominated by him being a quote unquote ball stopper. Our offense is predicated a lot on our defense, our perimeter defense, and you got to be bought in to play defense. Let's be clear about that, Ron. If I'm playing defense at a high level, I got to be bought. We all have to be bought in. All of us have to be on the same page when we're playing defense at that level. Now, if I'm running with a dude who's a primary bucket getter, if I'm running with a dude who isn't much of a bucket getter or much of a defender, I don't like what's going on in Toronto with RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram. If you bring those dudes over to Oklahoma City, are these guys defensively going to be bought in as much? I don't think so. I think that a lot of that stuff that's going on in Oklahoma City, it's shared wealth, where even though Shai is 30 a game, he does get off the peel. J-Dub gets off the ball. Chet, it's like these guys all play for each other. And I'm not sure that would be the case if you brought those other guys in.
So I feel like it's really I know, like, it's because 2 of those 3 players that you just named, like, of the big 3, are elite 2-way players. That's what makes that team special. It's the fact that when you look on the other end, for Minnesota, right? Let for example, they have Rudy Gobert, and then for the sub for him is Naz Reid, right? But they have Minnesota stuck in a situation where they have to make decisions. Do I want to be an elite defense and keep Rudy Gobert on the court, but then that takes away from my offense, or do I want to give more spacing out on the court to Ant and Julius Randle and put Naz Reid in the game? But then I kind of lose something defensively because Nas can't really guard on the perimeter and is definitely not a rim protector. But then on the flip side, when you look at an OKC team, they have Chet, who's giving you the best elements of those 2 players. But there is no sacrifice to make. Chet is going to be one of the best defensive players at the rim, and is going to hit threes, and is going to space the floor, and can attack closeouts. The fact that J-Dub last night, again, you don't have to make a substitution and try to strengthen or bolster your defense or offense and take away from one or the other with those 2 players. The J-Dub scored 34 and held Randall to 1 for 7 shooting. The fact that their best players are 2-way valuable players, it makes that team, that's a complete team. That's a complete basketball team because they have complete basketball players as their best players.
Real talk, is Mark Dagenau, is he living a dream right now?
For sure. But then
he got some goers that really they're coachable. Yeah. They're coachable, and they really like really hoopers though. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna play on this side and we gonna play on this side and we gonna bark at you.
Well, Ox,
right.
you can appreciate this because you're a fan of basketball players. Imagine having a team full of ballers. Like you ain't got one or two, you got like 9 or 10 ballers.
Everybody just came to ball, chill.
Everybody. And on top of that, they all on the same page. Like you don't have a group of guys over here. You don't have one guy over here like I'm not getting my shots, or you got to make this guy play defense. A last one of these dudes is on the same page. That's a coach's dream right there.
Yeah, he's living the dream, man.
I do want to give him credit
I don't know
because I think
he goes home happy.
I think he set that culture though. Like I think there's a culture that a coach can set, and y'all have hooped before. Like everybody's going to play defense if you want to play on this team, and if you want to like play. Period. If you want rotation minutes, you're going to play defense. And I think once you establish that kind of culture, even our best player, Shai's going to be accountable. Like everybody's accountable for playing defense on this team. So I think you can set a culture of that, and then all the players have bought in. So. I think so. What's up, Jordan? I think
what up?
I think so. I think so. Real talking. That was kind of like my point though too. Like that's all I was saying. I don't think that this team just. Well, I don't know, but I'm not gonna assume that these guys came to Mark Daigneault like, Coach, we're gonna play defense and we're gonna play offense. Watch this. Like, nah. I think Coach Daigneault came in there like, yo, this is how we getting down here, and that was like, shit, I'm with that. Like. This team right here. This is the type of team you want to coach. You know what I'm saying? Like these some young dudes that want to play basketball.
Hey, Ox and Chill. I got a question for y'all, and Real Talking Ron too. My thing is, I'm watching the game last night, right? I see Lou Dort picking up Ant full court in his chest as soon as he catch the ball. We was on Playback, and Pat Bev said, when we said, how you stop Shai? Deny him the ball, right? Mm-hmm. So when they do that to Ant, they don't look on the other end and say, how about we do that same shit to Shai? I don't get it. I just don't get they let Shai play one-on-one. They back up when he's dribbling. You let him cook how he's supposed to cook. He see one person in front of him. I don't get it.
Well, they tried to do that. Tatum McDaniels tried to do that with him, picking him up further away from the three-point line. He tried to pick him up around half court, and SGA is just so good getting downhill. SGA, and to SGA's point,
pick him up on the inbound like they doing Ant. They're not even letting Ant turn and get comfortable. When he catch the ball, goddamn Dort right in his chest. And it's
100%. There definitely needs to be more resistance, no doubt about that. But when you got coming off
pick and rolls, double trapped. Where's Shai trap at? Okay, if you're gonna say Shai good at making the pass, let him make the pass every time. I heard Ox saying that everybody was saying that the Timberwolves played good last night, and to Ant credit of Ant saying he don't feel like he played bad or he struggled. I don't necessarily feel like I feel the same way because they lost the game by 2 points. Right now, he could have played better. It was turnovers and offensive rebounds. I think was more important to their loss than Ant's low numbers. Mm-hmm. But although I'm not excusing Ant because he got to play better, but I would agree he didn't struggle. My thing is the Thunder made sure Ant saw two bodies every time. Mm-hmm. Why can't they do the exact same thing to Shai? Are they scared that he gonna make the right play? Good. Make the right play.
Well, wait a minute, Jordan, because that's where we get ourselves in trouble. I mean, you can appreciate I can't do what you do. I don't have the personnel to do what you do. In Oklahoma City, they got 6 guys, 7 guys on the perimeter. They got bodies to consistently throw at Ant, where if it's not Lou Dort, then it's Casey Wallace picking him up full court, where Lou Dort then picks him up after he crosses the half-court line. They don't have that many bodies to throw at SGA consistently outside of Jaden McDaniels, where he's consistently seeing pressure, he's consistently seeing physicality. They don't have that in Minnesota. Their defense.
Nikhil at him, Mike Conley at him,
DiVincenzo
at him.
They got the bodies still.
They just don't.
They got the bodies. They just
don't. They back up. They also back up when Shai dribbling. Like back up. Like, bro, he's so surgical. You give him no pressure. Of course he gonna get to his spot and get what he want. Ant, they not backing up when Ant got
But when
the
they
ball.
pressed up on him, though, Jordan, that's when he was. Well, they were pressing up and weren't like sending helps in the gaps either. So he was frustrating Jaden McDaniels. He was getting Jaden McDaniels in foul trouble and stuff like that because Jaden was trying to press up on him in some of the earlier games. So I think that was the the adjustment was to play a little bit
Work,
more
though.
off of
I'm telling me,
SGA.
Well,
I think that's a bad
boils down.
adjustment to me. It's a bad
It boils down to simply just different coaching philosophy. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
really simple as that. Like I think one coach is just more the aggressive type. The other coach is like, we can't overplay. We'll get beat. You got people that you talk to about a plan you have, and they're like, oh, but this can go wrong, or oh, but what if the people don't? What if that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I think Finch might have that type of personality where he's like, man, if we overplay that, they're gonna beat us back door. Blah, blah. You know, we don't want to give up this. We don't want to give up that. Let's be conservative. You know what I'm saying? Sit in our defensive stance and try to beat them one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? It's just different coaches, but. I mean, I'm with you on it, Jordan. Though I'm much more with the more aggressive standpoint, especially from the defensive end, especially when you got the type of personnel they got.
The last game.
I agree with you. I think they got the personnel. I think they can do it. I think they could.
When I think about Oklahoma City, you got Dort, Wallace.
Chill. They're not OKC.
But they don't look the same.
But they're the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right. So you got
they are one of the top 5 defense in the NBA.
I think they were 8th or something like that.
But when completely dialed in though. You have Nikhil
Alexander. I do think, they're one of the better defenses.
Dante DiVincenzo, hell of an on-ball defender.
Right.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, hell of an on-ball defender, which I think he should be taking that matchup more than he is. And then obviously you got Jaden McDaniels, all-NBA defender. So they got more than enough to throw at him. And then on top of that, what's his name? They call him the SGA stopper. You got him too.
The other
Jalen Clark.
Clark. You got Shannon too.
Yeah. They got plenty of athletes over there.
So we're not throwing as many bodies at him.
I just don't understand that. No, bro, they allow Shai had 40 last night. What he had last night? 40?
Yeah, 40.
Bro, they allow go look at his buckets. It's him directing traffic comfortably, conceding, spot, shot, attack, foul. It's like, bro, Ant is not comfortable doing nothing. Every time Ant get the ball, 2 bodies coming. I seen Hartenstein push his ass all the way out to half court on the hedge. Like they sending 2 at him every time, forcing Ant to make the plays. And it's like, okay, you can force Shai to make the play. Let's say Case and Wallace get off. Fine. Everybody got off last night, but from the Timberwolves, but Randall and Ant. And they won. The Thunder won. So it's like
SGA had a spot at the top of the key. And to your point, Jordan, he had the ball at the top of the key. I want to say his cousin was covering him, and Ant was on the weak side.
Move.
And he didn't. He moved a little bit. He fires it over to J-Dub 4-3. Wide open. Fires it over to him 4-3. Wide open.
In a blitz every time you see, bro, Shai, and sometimes they do it because in the beginning, I think Shai had, in the first quarter, I think he had 3 or 4 assists, and they was forcing him to get the ball out of his hand, and it's like, good. Keep making him do that. I'm okay with him. I'm not finna let this man get every time they lost, Shai have a big game against them. Why? The last game he struggled. The last game they were much more aggressive. They was up in him. They was hitting back first, doing all the little things. And I'm not saying like that's the reason why they lost, because they obviously lost the game on turnovers and offensive rebound. That's obviously why they lost.
That's why they lost. Yeah.
I just feel like if they're going to play that game with Ant, let's play it with them too. Like, let's do the same thing. I'm totally against allowing somebody to do something to me and I don't do it back to them. I'm against that.
Jordan, I feel you, but even if it is going tit for tat, like you want to do this to us, so we're gonna do it for you. Even outside of that, this dude just gave you 40, and the other dude just gave you 34.
Yeah,
and they did something similar a couple nights ago. Or was that game one? One of them games they did something similar.
Where all 3 of them, yeah.
I'm not even talking about Chet. Chet. I'm talking about the 2 all-stars.
Jalen Williams, yeah.
I would damn the triangle 2 of these dudes.
Bro, they let them play in single coverage, Chet, and they get 40.
You beat us. Casey Wallace,
you beat us. That's my point, Ron.
You beat us. I float us to death.
That's exactly my point.
How many bullets you got that floater? How many bullets you got that floater?
That's what they did to Minnesota.
They did game 2. I mean, that's what they did game 3. That's what I'm saying. My thing is, y'all game plan for these 2 guys, single coverage in them, that shit not working. They getting 40, 30. That shit ain't working. I'm tired of seeing Shai, bro. He's the MVP. You cannot allow an MVP go single coverage on you in the playoff game. Like at this, the jig is up, bro. Like Shai gonna cook your ass. Like we not surprised. Shit is up. You gonna let him play 1-on-1? He's surgical enough to cook you.
Well, was it just the single
Don't be
coverage?
surprised.
Was it the turnovers? Was it also the offensive rebounding? I mean, I like to think that.
I mean,
I know what you're talking about,
supposed
Jordan.
to,
When we in the half court, right? When we're in the half court, I really don't one-on-one want to leave SGA on the right wing with his cousin. No, I don't want to do that.
I don't want that. Like, what the fuck?
No,
when he's at the top averaged 30 a game for a reason.
Right. When he's at the top of the key, I don't want to leave him one-on-one against DiVincenzo. No, I don't want to do that. I do want to get the ball out of his hands. I get that. But with that being said, this personnel that Minnesota has and the scheme that they have, it's reliant a lot on their on their front line defense. It's not their backcourt. It's relying a lot on their front court defense. A lot of it. Them guys getting to the rim and getting swatted away from the rim, guys getting swatted out of the paint, stuff like that. So that's where Rudy and Nas and guys like that come in. Now, if you want to run blitz action, if you want to run blitz action, I think it could work in stretches. Like, we can't do that all night, Jordan. We can't.
I'm not saying all night, but we can't allow him to play one-on-one.
No, we can't. That
how
part
many
I can
shots
get
do you get? How many? And real talk too. How many times did y'all see Ant with single coverage out there? Damn near the whole game to me. That's what it looked like. Single coverage. I'm watching Rudy go. They even allow Rudy.
No, he always had somebody on him.
SGA.
Okay.
I'm watching Rudy. I'm watching Randall guard him single coverage. I'm watching Rudy Gobert single coverage. But when our heart is on Ant, they sending another one at him. Push his ass all the way around the court, make him get off the ball. Why are we watching SGA get an ISO on Gobert?
I mean, the one time I do remember, it was like he was in kind of the right corner wing area or just flat out corner when Rudy had to switch out on him. But even on that play, like, they immediately were sitting in the gaps, and Shai just ended up taking some side step over the top shot. I think he missed. I don't really think their defense, to be honest, on Shai was that bad. Like, those two games that you're referring to, like, even last night, like, Shai had 40. He took a lot of shots.
Took 30 shots.
30.
The other game where he had like the 40 or 30 something, like, it was on like 10 or 29 shooting. Like,
he had a bad for the game you're talking about. He had a bad first half. In the second half,
the second half he was better.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but I'm saying, like,
I agree with you. You can't run the same coverage with him all night. I'm not saying run the same coverage. I'm just saying, like, this whole thing of we don't want Shai to get to the rim. Why? He wants to get to his mid-range. Y'all let him do what he want to do. He want to get to his mid-range. He is a jump shooter. Y'all might think these are tough shots because he's shooting over the top. To him, it's not a tough shot for him. Like, that's what he want to do.
That's who he is.
Like, that's what he work on. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, when y'all keep backing up, it's like, bro, relax, bro. Like,
he also wants to get to the rim too, Joe Jordan. Let's
but he also wants to get to the line, and so that's why you also have to back up on Shai. Otherwise, it's gonna foul your player out.
Don't put your hands up, send him to the rim, have your hands up, and send multiple bodies at him, make him make those passes, which is fine. All that sitting in the gap, they sitting in the gap, Shai going one-on-one, and J-Dub still getting an open three. What scheme is that? Yeah, we sitting in the gap.
He had 10 assists last night too.
Yeah,
but I'm saying, Jordan, that game that you referred to, you said they did it in game 3. I mean, it looked better in game 3 because OKC shot 20-some% from 3. If J-Dub is missing that wide open swing 3, then yeah, you can get away with that. But they're sending gap help, just like you said, sending gap help. And he's swinging it to J-Dub, and he's not missing. He hit 6 threes.
Why? Okay, but why can they cover Ant like that and not Shai like that?
But respectfully, but Jordan, that's why I also kind of agree. Ant, to me, didn't play like a terrible game. Like, he didn't shoot the ball well, but as many opportunities as he created, because they were guarding him the way. Like, to me, Ant is a reason why DiVincenzo had open shots. Nikhil got a lot of open shots. He got into rhythm.
Nikhil didn't really get so much open shot. Nikhil was creating his shots. Nikhil was just breaking them up.
I think Nikhil saw some easy ones, and then he started getting busy, like for sure.
Yeah.
But we do have to your point, real talk. We do have to recognize Ant Edwards was getting downhill, and he was trying to get to the rim, and they were collapsing, which would open up the floor for DiVincenzo, right? Which would also open up the floor for Nikhil. Nikhil was getting some open looks. He wasn't looking at the rim wide open like DiVincenzo was a lot of times, or like Nas Reed was a lot of times. But the defense was collapsing when Ant Edwards got to the rim, 100%. Now, as far as Shai, I think that they were worried about so many of those other guys that they didn't jump Shai like you talked about, like you talked about jumping him. I think that they were worried about J-Dub, and I think that because of that, those long rebounds became Oklahoma City's long rebounds. Those long rebounds turned into wide open threes because they're scrambling to get to J-Dub, not just J-Dub, but they're scrambling to get to SGA. They're scrambling to get to Lou Dort. They're scrambling to get to Hartenstein instead of actually going after the basketball and rebounding. Jordan, we got 22 offensive rebounds. We can't win like that. We can't.
That was crazy.
We can't win like that. When we giving a team like this who's got as good of offensive player as SGA, as good an offensive player and as good a bucket getter as Chet and as J-Dub, we can't give them a potential at minimum 44 extra points? Hell no.
Sure, it was actually 19 offensive rebounds, and the Wolves got 19 as well. So they actually evened out on the offensive rebounds. It was 22 turnovers though. But either way it goes though, giving up 19 offensive rebounds is insane.
It's nuts, Ron. And the reason why it's nuts is because one, when we giving up that kind of stuff, they're giving it up during runs. By the way, like they're trying to get back in the game and they're trying to get the momentum back. So we give up an offensive rebound, boom, a three from Chet, and the lead goes from 5 right back up to 8. We cut the lead from 9 to back to 4, boom, J-Dub gets an offensive rebound on a long rebound, and it's back up to 7, and it goes back up to 9. It's stuff like that. That's back-breaking stuff.
But also, so like, like if you go back and watch, like, like Real Talk was talking about having them playing in the gap. This is why I think that's a bullshit-ass defense for them. And Shai is realizing that it's bullshit defense too. They in the gap, but Shai get a funnel to play one-on-one. Like all he got to do is not go that way, and it's really a one-on-one. So that's why he don't panic when they in the gap, because it's like, okay, y'all in the gap, but this lane right here, like let's say it's somebody in the gap on the right and the left. Shai looking at, okay, I just can't go right or left, but I got a one-on-one straight ahead in front of me. You really not a factor. You can't do that on Oklahoma City. You know what happens when you do that? As soon as you turn your back one way, they coming. Get it out. They just allowing, like, it looks like they helping, but it's really a bullshit ass gap help. It's one-on-one coverage. Almost even the bucket. I know, because I'm just talking about from a highlight play. Remember when Shai go to the goal on Rudy Gobert, he bumped his ass and got a layup? Where was the gap help then? One-on-one, Rudy Gobert bump. I'm watching Jaden McDaniels look at that shit. Bro, I know you expect Rudy to make that play, but Shai shouldn't even got down there, though. He shouldn't even got a day like looking at that. Everybody want to say, oh, you can't guard them the same. You can't. Bro, watch the game. Quit just being a fan. Watch the game and see what I'm talking about. It's one-on-one. I swear to God, a lot of Shai buckets is one-on-one. He looking at the help and not even panicking. He like, oh, okay, cool. Boom, bump, turn, fade. That ain't no fucking help. That ain't even no pressure.
And he is getting in the lane, Ron. Like SGA will get like to the mid-range and ain't nobody there but him and the guy that's covering him. As opposed to
exactly.
As opposed, because it's 1, 2, 3 dribbles and like he'll get off a guy and it's just him and DiVincenzo. It's just him and maybe his cousin. As opposed
Randall.
to when Randall get the ball on the block, it's 1, 2, 3 dribbles.
4-5
It ain't
hands.
come. It ain't
They
come.
got hands up.
OKC outside of it, y'all can disagree if y'all want. Outside of their 2 all-stars, offensively, they are not that scary.
They're not scary. They're not scary at all outside of them.
I'm agreeing with
no
you.
way
Why would they let
I mean,
them
they can.
I'm jumping both of them every time y'all touch the ball. Y'all are getting lumped up. Everybody else.
Well, I mean, Ron, just like any other team, you know what I'm saying? They might not be that scary as individual scorers, but they play good basketball as well. Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Wiggins, Caruso, them dudes can knock down shots. You can't just play them cheap like, oh, they're not gonna do nothing with the ball.
But we playing them expensive and they beating the hell out of us. So let's play them
But
cheap.
see, here's the coverage beater for when you want to load up on Shai. If Chet is going to be that good, he's the one that nullifies that. I'm telling you, because a lot of the times it's like Chet getting left because he shoots the ball ridiculously slow, and so hopefully you try to get a late closeout and then he ends up putting the ball on the floor and da-da-da. So, but I'm saying like if the people on the back end, right, if you're gonna double Shai and then J-Dub's being aggressive on the back end and Chet's being aggressive on the back end, then you're kind of, I mean, what do you want them to do? Because Chet is knocking Chet knocking that shit down today. Chet attacking the closeout today and dunking it.
Hey, Chet Thompson, do your thing, brother.
Do your thing, big dog. Do your thing.
Hey.
All I'm saying is, like,
you got it there, brother.
They giving up both. It's not only like you said, they don't want Shai to get to the free throw line. Well, he's getting to the free throw line. He's also getting to the spots. He's getting to the basket. What are you not making him do?
And he's getting other people open shots.
So what are you taking away from him?
We have to take something away.
What the fuck are they taking away from Shai? If we look at it,
take something away.
I didn't see Shai under besides when he falling and and he's speeding up. But when he decided in the half court set, all right, let's get surgical. It was relax. Hey, move. I got it. Step back, shot. I said it last night in the group. I said, y'all got to know when Shai got the ball in his left hand, he about to step back left and shoot it. He does it every single time. But he allow you, that comes when you backing up. Like, of course you backing up. Oh, easy shot. Warm up routine shot. That's all I'm saying. I want to see hands and I'm not saying SGA can't make the right play because I think he can. I'm just okay with him making that play. I'm okay with him. Oh, he picked them apart. Good. Pick us apart. But in order for him to pick us apart, like Real Talk said, Chet got to make them. Chet got to knock that shit down. So does Caruso. So does Dort. J-Dub tearing that shit up right now. So we got to do something about him.
No, and that's Jordan. That's why J-Dub's on the list too. You're not beating us, and you're not beating us. Yeah. Anytime either y'all touch the ball, I'm telling you, we are on your ass like flies on shit. We are on y'all. Give the rock. Somebody else got to beat us.
They're doing that to Ant. They're doing that to Ant, and they're doing that to Randall. And I mean, shit. And it was a 2-point game, but it's they won. So at the end of the day, they game plan worked for them. Like they won. It's like, all right, we won. On the other end, you got their two best players got 40 and 38. So y'all lost. Like all I'm saying is, what are we gonna take away from Shai? I know he's a great player. No, I know he's the MVP. You got to be able to take something away from him. You got to be able to make him work hard for something.
I mean, I do think they've taken something away. They've taken away. I don't think he's getting downhill as much as like we regularly see Shai like at the basket. But that, like you said, that's just a credit to how good he is, Jordan. Like he's comfortable taking and making over the top shots over and over and over and over and over again. But that's, I mean, those pull up jumpers are comfortable though. Statistically the worst jumpers to take in the game. Yeah, or pull up twos the whole game.
But see, look, that's like you said, statistically, it's the worst part. As a hooper, you allowing the guy.
I know, but I'm saying they've taken away his drive. Like he's not getting to the rim. They've taken that away from him.
He got about 3 or 4 easy layups last night.
He's still getting there. He might not be getting there at the same rate, but he getting there.
Y'all, I think Real Talk is looking at it, and more fans in general, because this is the conversation around the mid range. I would much rather have a contested 2. It sounds good, bro. I'm telling you, it's basketball players who love contested 2s. Shai's one of them. It's not really a tough shot for him. Like that's his shot. Like that's what he want to do. So it's like, oh, I'm okay with him taking a contested 2. It's like, but that's my shot. That's like saying that shit about DeMar DeRozan or Carmelo Anthony or Kevin Durant.
No, but I mean, Jordan, my favorite player of all time is Kobe. I understand there are players that are really good at, but I'm saying that's what makes those players essentially, if you have the correct spacing around them, unguardable. Because even if you stop them from getting to the basket, they are okay just taking a whole bunch of over the top contested.
Right, Real Talk. That's why me and Ron are saying send 2 at him. Send somebody at him to
Get the ball out of his hands.
Like that's exactly what we've been saying. Get the ball out of his.
But I'm saying, Jordan, that sounds good until J-Dub hits 6 threes and 4 of them are catch and shoot.
Yes,
Chet is hitting threes and attacking closeouts and dunking.
40 and 10.
Yeah, he did have 40 and 10, and he did have to get off the pill 100%. And he said, let's not make it sound like Jordan, even though he was going 1-on-1, like the stuff he was getting was simple. No, he had a lot of tough shots that they forced him into. A lot of tough shots.
I want you to I think Shai made 13 shots last night. I want you to go back and watch all 13 shots and tell me how many of them were tough. I just want you to go look at it and see.
What about this? Okay, those were the makes. What about the 17 misses?
Yeah, I agree. Go look at the misses too. Tell me which one was tough.
I'm sure he was getting a bunch of tough shots. So for example, all right. So for example, I remember him in the first half. It was in the second quarter. He's on the wing against his cousin, and his cousin's got him, forcing him to the baseline. When his cousin forcing him to the baseline, he beats him to the baseline. He ends up turning back to his left, and he tries to shoot a fall away, and he ends up making it. That's a tough shot. I will live with that. 17 feet. I will live with that. I 100% will live with that because you're not going to stop a shot.
It's a tough shot for guys like Dante DiVincenzo. No. For him, routine.
Right.
Chill. My thing is, tough shot or not, I just don't want SGA shooting the ball no more. I'm tired of you shooting the ball. You shot 30 shots last night. If I'm the Timberwolves, I'm trying to do them the same way they've been doing it. You shoot 1 shot in the second half. Shai, you shoot 13 shots in the game. If we can do that, I believe our chances to win go up dramatically because that means these other guys have to shoot and finish plays.
And my thing is this too, though. Y'all saying he got 40 points on 30 shots. Like, he's not finna get 60 on 30 , so that's not that bad.
No, I ain't saying that, Jordan. No, I'm not saying that.
That's a good game, to be real. Like
to hold him, I mean, let's be clear, Jordan. 14 of that 40 came from the strike. Let's be clear about that.
But that's okay, but it's not like he took 38 shots to get 40. He took
how many free throws did he shoot?
He shot 17. He went 12 for 17.
So 12. So 12 of that came from the
he took So Jordan,
12 for 14,
he took 30. He took 30 shots and 17 free throws, and scored 40 points.
14 free throws.
Okay, 30 shots, 14 free throws. You did a decent job. I know it sounds crazy because he has 40, but he was 13. He was 13 or 30 from the field. He shot 14 free throws. He only got 40 points. If you shoot the ball 30 times and you get 14 free throws, that's supposed to be 50.
But hold on. No, because not really because if you foul me, I was probably gonna make the shot if you didn't foul me. So it's not really like that's a part of it.
I can't assume that. I can't assume that if I didn't foul you.
Why they fouled him?
Because if that's the case, so if that's the case, then you don't miss shots because there's times when I don't foul you.
But real quick because I'm talking about these playoff basketball games, and I just got to disagree with that. If you shoot 25 shots, that don't mean I should have had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you said something earlier, real talk about how many shots SGA shot or whatever to get that 40. I don't care.
That's what
I said too. For me, I'm like SGA. You should shoot 60.
Well, that's what
you ain't shoot some of them. But what I'm talking about is the after the game looking at it and discussing it. You know what I'm saying? From us, if we're all in the team, and I'm looking at my scores, I'm like, damn, I probably could have made more. I didn't have to shoot that many, but in the big scheme of things, to win this playoff basketball game, especially a game that was as close as it was last night, Shai, you shoot as many shots as it takes for us to win this basketball game. I don't give a shit. If you as long as you're not shooting like 20% from the field, like you just not hitting at that point. Right at that point, it's all right, bro. Move the ball. But you know what I'm saying? Like you getting to your spots, you missing, you making, you getting fouled, whatever. Keep going, keep shooting, be relentless.
Jordan, I want to just make sure I'm clear. I agree with that. If I'm OKC, I want Shai shooting the ball 30 plus. I'm saying though, like I don't want to look at Minnesota though and act like they did some terrible job on Shai, because in my opinion they did it. Like,
I want to say they did.
If he scores a great score, you know what I'm saying, they shoot the ball enough, they're going to score points. Like that's
but
going
not
to happen.
40 though.
He shoots 30 times and has 14 free throws and gets to 40. Like, I'm saying, I'm not looking at Minnesota like, oh my God, they did a horrible job on Shai last night. That's what I'm saying.
I am, because I would understand, like, if he shot 30 shots and he had 30 points. Like, okay, bro, you took 30 shots to get 30. Okay, got you. That ain't what he did though. He took 30 shots to get 40. So it's like I'm plus 10 on my production. So like, and I got 10 assists as well too. So it's like, he gonna get the shot. All I'm saying is eliminate just the one-on-one drives. Eliminate one-on-one actions. If he making them motherfuckers like Kobe, like as good as Kobe is, you didn't see a lot of one-on-one single cover shots with Kobe. Kobe was getting that thing out the post. He was coming out of traps. Like Kobe saw bodies, and Kobe just had to figure that shit out. Like, that's all I'm saying. I think we get accustomed to people scoring 40 on 22 shots, on 18 for 22. That's a perfect game. Like, that's a Hall of Fame game right there. That shit ain't real though. Like, that's not real. That's not Jokic do that shit. He got 14 for 16, and he got 40 points, and everybody think that's the standard. Like, that's not the standard.
17
like,
for 23. KD.
I
agree.
That shit fake. That's why in the playoffs, when you're like, why he ain't taking all these shots? Hey, them shooting percentage numbers. That's what it. That's what it comes down to. That shit fake. That's why I don't really give a shit about field goal percentage like that in the playoffs, because sometimes it's necessary for you to empty the clip. Like, a lot of times it's necessary for you to do that. So that's why I'm saying 40 on 30 to me is a good game. Like, it's a good game. Whether y'all want to add free throws in there or not, like, that's a part of it.
I don't think he had a bad game. I'm just thinking
I think he had a good game.
I don't think he had a bad game.
I agree. I think he had a good game.
I'm not saying that at all. I do think that from a defensive perspective, like, all right, if I go at the end of the game, if I'm on defense and I look at the box score and I go, yo, he took 30 shots and he only made 13 of them. All right, what could I have? I'm not thinking I held him 13 to 30. I'm thinking, all right, well, them 13 shots that he made, I could have kept the ball away from him on this play. You could have doubled him on this play right here.
Facts. That's what I'm saying, Chill.
I could have denied him and kept the ball away from him there. That's the kind of stuff I'm thinking about as a defender. I'm not thinking that I held him to 30 shots. No, I'm not thinking that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You saying the same thing when I'm talking about, like, I feel like when you go back and watch it, I feel like as a defender, if you go back and watch it, and you can't say, well, he got 14 free throws. I mean, the motherfucker gonna get 10 free throws a game. Newsflash, he gonna get 10 free throws. Like, the way they've been calling this shit, Shai gonna get 10 free throws. So you can't just look at it like, well, he got 40 with 14 free throws. Like, motherfucker get 10 a game. So that's a given. That's guaranteed. That ain't even no good excuse. So the way I'm looking at it, you got to look at it like what Chill's saying. You got to be looking at it as in, all right, if I probably should have denied him right here. Okay, I shouldn't have let him pick up for when he get the ball, I got to be in his face. I got to wear him down. He too comfortable. You got to look at stuff like that. I didn't see Shai wore down last night. I didn't see that. I saw Julius Randle look a little bit overwhelmed. I saw Anthony Edwards look a little bit overwhelmed and wore down. By the last fourth quarter, it looked like Ant was kind of like just gassed out of it. He was making the right play, but he was still looking gassed out of it to me.
Ron, they completely took him out the game, yo. They did. I felt like they took Ant out the game yesterday. Him and Julius Randle. I think they took both of them dudes out the game.
I think they took Ant scoring out the game, Chill.
Right, and that's a big part of who he is, Ox.
I don't know if Julius Randle took himself out the game.
Ant was still making good plays, though, for the most part, though.
Right, he was.
That's Jordan's point, though. Take something off the table for the dude. If I'm
not disagreeing with Jordan.
No. I'm not saying that to counter you. I'm just saying that to just add on top of what he's saying. Like, Ant was playmaking last night, and that's cool. But he wasn't able to get the looks that he wanted to get. SGA, you can't just allow SGA to just probe around and do whatever the hell he wants to do. I'm running around slapping people.
Yeah, but that's because Ant scores at two areas of the court.
I'm just terrorizing everything. I'm just doing whatever the hell I want to do. Nah, it's not like that. And I know one thing. If I'm Coach Finch, we're not going to go out like that. We're not going to go out with you giving us 40 and you giving us 34 again. We're not going to go out with, I'm not even talking about SGA. Let's just talk about J-Dub. I'm not going to go out with J-Dub, who shot 24 shots, shooting more shots than my two best players, who only shot 20 shots. It's no way in hell.
Yeah.
It's not possible. Hey, y'all
I
finna
think
feel this
Randall
pressure.
took himself out the game last night. Randall was playing some badass basketball.
Yo, y'all dudes
Right.
just sitting here talking to me. Ant had 2 shots in the first half. He got
they
shut
took
down.
They took it away
That's
from
his
him.
game.
They
shut
took it away
him
from him.
out the game.
Yeah, of
Took him out
course.
the game. And
That's
if
what we
if
saying,
Ant
though.
if Ant is gonna get started, you're gonna get started 35 feet away from the basket, and we're gonna load up on you.
And that's what they did.
And once we load up on you, you're gonna consistently see bodies. Ron, as a bucket getter, as a scorer, I play in a rhythm. That's how I get going. When I got 2 and 3 guys on me and I don't get a shot or I get a look that makes me feel comfortable for 3, 4 trips, I'm out of a rhythm. And then on top of that, when I'm not touching the ball, they had stretches where he wasn't touching the ball, Ron. They would turn the ball over. He doesn't even touch the ball. So you couple that with I'm starting my offense 25, 30 feet away from the basket, and I'm doing it with 11 seconds on the shot clock, and I'm rushing. They completely took him out of that game in the first half. He got shut down.
I like it, but it's easier to guard Ant. Like there's also the difference when y'all are like, well, why can't they do this to Ant that they're doing? Well, do to SGA what they're doing to Ant. And I do agree, like they could definitely, deny him the ball better and things like that. But SGA has mastered the shots that are always going to be there for a score. And those are those in between mid-range, like all of that that's what he's mastered. So he's always going to be able to get shots off. Ant wants to shoot pull-up threes and or get all the way to the basket. And as soon as Ant realizes like that little catch it, rip through, bump into the defender to get to a fatal, like Ant has to develop that kind of stuff in the mid-range and in the in-between game. So he always does have shots available to him because it's easier to guard somebody that just wants to shoot threes or get all the way to the rim and make layups. It's easier to do.
Now, Ron, we have to address the elephant in the room, and the reason why we got to address the elephant in the room because we've done this in the past. I was around in 2001 in the NBA Finals when Kobe Bryant was scoring and shades of Michael, and I was around when Michael Jordan was growing up and Dr. J. And now I understand the idea that this guy is not better than this guy, but we've compared greats to other greats all the time. I don't think SGA is Kobe Bryant good. I'm not going to say that. I think Bryant is better than him. Year 7 SGA matched up with year 7 Bryant. I think Bryant is better than him. And to be honest with you, I think there's a gap. However, I'm not going to act like they weren't being compared. Just like in year 6 with Bryant, comparing him when he was in the NBA Finals to Jordan, I think there was a considerable gap. But we were doing it. And we do it because these guys, like SGA, they give us the idea that, is he the next guy? Is he going to be the guy that we're going to see up next to be that good? That's why we compare him. We don't do it because SGA is Kobe Bryant. No, because there's nobody who watches. I don't watch SGA's game and think, yo, he plays like Kobe Bryant. No, he doesn't. No. I don't get that from him. But I get the idea of him being the next great guard. That's the idea.
Yeah, I mean, he to Shai's credit, Shai got his own style, bro. Like,
yes,
Shai kind of play like a little bit of mixture of like a lot of different people, but it's pretty much his own style. He definitely don't play nothing like Kobe. He don't play with his back to the basket enough to play like Kobe. He don't play nothing like Michael Jordan. So it's kind of just like maybe he played like a little bit of Darren Williams, a little bit. I don't know, like a little bit of Chris Paul in him too. He got a little bit of Chris Paul in him too. Like he got his own style, bro. Like he got his own style. I don't think. Now, Ant, I will say, bro, Ant got to work on his pace. Shai mastered the pace. Yep. Shai mastered the mid-range, getting to your spot. Ant like to play a little bit too fast, and that's because he's an aggressive type of guy. But he got to master playing a little bit slower and learning how to go away from the double. Like sometimes he go right into the double. He got to learn how to go away and probably get to like a pull-up. And it's gonna be, a learning experiment for Ant. But I do got to crown SGA as a better player than Anthony Edwards for sure, though.
Yo, we gonna have to hear this SGA Kobe stuff for a very long time. I just want to throw that out there.
Is it Ron? Is it Bryant or is it just the next best great guard?
I think
he don't play like
Kobe. Real talk. I just got a text message from my man L2. He sent the message 9 minutes ago before Chill even brought this up, and this is why I said Chill, don't do it, because I just got the text message and he texted me, and my response was bye. It was just simply bye. And my man L2 texted me and said, "Tell them niggas SGA is the second coming of 24. Kobe, I'm convinced."
No, they don't play alike.
I mean, go
ahead, real talk.
I just think like I'm not too mad at it because I feel like SGA is like in that lineage. I just feel like he's the next evolution. So to me, I feel like Kobe, when he came around, had like more ball skills than Mike, right? As far as playing with the ball, I think he had more dribble combination, especially number 8. A lot of people remember like 24 Kobe, but like number 8 Kobe was beating people off the dribble, like with
played above the rim. He was played above the rim.
Like he had all of that to his game.
Hold on, no, don't act like 24 wasn't catching bodies.
Yeah, I'm not saying that 24 wasn't. I'm not saying that 24 wasn't doing it at all. I'm just saying number 8 was doing it way more frequently than 24 was more polished, more skilled, more decisive. More, I know what spot I'm trying to get
24 was more grown man.
You know what I'm saying?
More grown man.
But
I seen 24 rip through a Gerald Wallace at like, how old was Kobe in 2014? Rip through a Gerald Wallace, jump from the middle of the key, and make him ride that whole roller coaster to a slam dunk.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna happen. That's
catching bodies.
I mean, he's not saying that. He's just saying like, bro, 24 was more grown. You saw Kobe game slow down.
It was like, less wasted motion in 24. So to me, I think what I think Shai is like he's the next evolution of that lineage. Because I think as the game progresses, like guards have needed more ball skills, like just off the dribble, like kind of stuff, because that's what the game is. Like guards aren't just catching the ball in the mid post, turn around, facing up like that. Like you have to dribble to get to your spots. And I think SGA now, he does have a lot of that mid-range mastery like Kobe and Mike. He just gets there differently because it's more off the handle. You know what I'm saying? He gonna tween, shoulder bump you, get to the. You know what I'm saying? I think he just has more of that to his game. But there are definitely similarities that I see between SGA and Kobe as far as like footwork and getting to the mid-range and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but it's
I just feel like I'm discrediting SGA by even bringing him in Kobe's argument, because SGA is good, but Kobe would destroy SGA.
You know, but that's the thing, Ron. Okay, what I'm not doing is I'm not matching them up player for player. Again, Bryant is better than him. I won't even make that argument. But we did this when we see to Real Talk's point, the evolution of guards. Did we not do this a couple of years ago? Was Devin Booker not the next Kobe Bryant? Was that not going on?
No,
that was 100% a conversation.
It was a conversation.
We had to hang the phone up. Kobe Bryant.
And we had to hang the phone up. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm hanging the
phone
up.
This fool was in open gym talking about stop double teaming me. I would never put that boy in Kobe Bryant conversation.
No, and I didn't think so.
I'm not even putting the conversation on hold. I'm hanging the phone up.
Okay,
you text me about it.
I didn't think that Devin Booker, he was nothing like Bryant, but the evolution, to Real Talk's point, the evolution of the next great guard, who are we going to compare him to, right? Who is he going to be compared to? Because when you think about who the evolution of the next great guard was compared to back then, it was Jordan. Okay, who's going to be like this? It was Bryant. Then who's going to be like this? We're still looking for him. So when SGA is doing what he's doing, or when Devin Booker shows up and Devin Booker is doing what he was doing, it's the same thing. Now, do I think Devin Booker was Kobe Bryant good? He wasn't anything like Bryant was on the other side of the basketball. Not even close to what Bryant was on the other side of the basketball. I won't even argue that point. But because we're looking for that next level of guard, we're going to say, as soon as we see a guard that's awesome, like SGA, league MVP, money mid-range game, can score it with the best of them, is he Bryant good? That's all that is. It's not about I think Bryant, though. No. I
think like SGA, to me, like I brought it up earlier, SGA is a mixture. Like to me, he played a little. he scores like Chris Paul. I won't say he play like Chris Paul. He scores like Chris Paul. He don't really score like Kobe. Kyrie is more similar to Kobe than SGA to me. But to me, for SGA scores like Chris Paul. He just does it like he shoots a lot more shots than Chris Paul would. So that's why people see Chris Paul as a playmaker, not the fantastic mid-range and scorer that he is. But that's who they play. They don't. To me, him and Kobe don't play nothing alike. Like they don't play nothing alike at all. Kyrie play way more like Kobe than what people think. They just.
But see, I always thought that SGA kind of played like minus the 3-point shot. Like I always thought SGA played like a 6'6" version of Kyrie. Like if Kyrie was taller, to me, he would play like SGA.
I could see that. I
possibly so, but I feel like I think if you go watch New Orleans Hornets, Chris Paul, you go watch the scoring of Chris Paul is with the clip. Don't look at his playmaking. Just look at the way they score. They play very similar. Even SGA played like some tad bits. Like you could look at Sam Cassell old clips. That's how Sam Cassell played a lot too. Kind of like that. Like get you on your hip, rise up and shoot. Like I think people see the numbers and some of the stuff that he do and think that's Kobe because of the numbers. But it's like, nah, I'm telling y'all, go watch old Chris Paul play his scoring. Look at that. It's very similar to what SGA do. Like because I remember watching Chris Paul as a kid, like, God damn, I hate him. Like, God damn, bro, Chris Paul, that shit was straight money from the stripe. Boy, he get you dancing, go right by you, pull up, money, fades, probing, fade. Like that's Shai. That's Shai all over. It's just he don't have to play making like Chris Paul. That's the only thing. He not trying to. And because he's 6'6". So I mean,
Jordan, I'm just saying, can we just start like there's levels to it before we get to the final boss, before we get to Kobe and MJ, can we like maybe can we talk about Milwaukee Ray Allen? Can we talk about T-Mac? We ain't got the D-Wade yet. We ain't even got the D-Wade yet.
He don't play like
D-Wade. He don't play nothing like D-Wade.
It's not about playing like these guys, but I'm saying.
So hold on, wait. Is it he's playing like him or he is him? Because like I said, I just read the message and he said he's the next Kobe. Is he playing like Kobe or is he as good as Kobe? Because we've heard both of them. Penn will tell us that he's as good as Kobe.
Now understand, Ron.
That is crazy. But to me, it's play like. To me, it's play like. Not he's as good.
Real talk. We did the same thing with Shaq and Jabbar. Like Shaq didn't play like Jabbar, but he's the next Chamberlain. He's the next Jabbar.
That was Shaq.
Right? So he was the next dominant big man. He didn't play anything like Jabbar, but that's how we looked at him in 1995 when he was in the NBA Finals. This is the evolution of the big man. This is what it's about to look like. Well, the same logic goes on with this guard here. He's the evolution of the next great guard. That he might not play like Bryant, because I don't think he plays like Bryant. I don't think he's the athlete.
He don't play nothing like Kobe.
I don't think he does. I just don't. I watch him. I don't think he's the athlete that Bryant is. I mean, his ball handling is good. I think Kobe is a lot. I think Kobe's handle is much crisper. I think his ability to finish around the rim.
Than SGA?
Oh,
yeah.
Kobe had a crisp handle.
Yes.
Kobe had a crisp
handle. Kobe Bryant handle is super sharp.
His handle is nice.
Super sharp.
Kobe had a good handle, but Shai has
Kobe had a nice handle. Kobe had a nice handle. It just real talk. You didn't see it a lot because they didn't play basketball like that back then.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying, but SGA handle is. SGA is
nice.
He's
nice. No, he's got a nice handle.
That's how he.
Kobe shit is a more explosive coming out of a crossover though.
If Kobe played in
this league, Kobe just a better athlete than Shai.
Yeah, that's why I was about to say that. Yeah,
I think that's what the separation is. Real talk, because when that better athlete comes in, that goes to burst, that goes to getting to the rim, that goes to height on my shot. That goes to separation. That goes to all of that kind of stuff. That goes like he had that thing on a box where he had that head and shoulder fake where it was bip bip. Like SGA has that. It ain't nearly as sharp as what Bryant had. Nearly.
And part of it too is
jabs,
they play basketball differently. They play basketball differently. Like if you watch basketball probably all the way up until like maybe 2014, 2015, the best player didn't hold the ball a lot. The best player didn't just bring the ball up, move people out the way, go ISO. They played out of triple threat. Yeah. They played out of the post a lot. They played off of swings a lot. And I think Pop back then, he encouraged swing. Like you wasn't even holding that joint for a second. It was swing that joint. They just played a lot differently back then. So you see more of SGA handle, and you see more move. But SGA kind of keep it simple too. He don't got like he got a nice handle, but it's not like a greatest of all time handle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he keep it simple. He got a simple handle. He get to his spots and pull up. But to me, they just don't play like Shai plays like he's, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, but like the stuff he do to get the fouls, I'm not gonna call him a free throw merchant, you know, but that's not how Kobe played. Kobe didn't play shit like that. Like nothing like that. And that's a lot of Shai's game. I think people forget that too. Like for y'all to say that he played like he similar to Kobe. When the fuck you seen Kobe do that bullshit? You didn't never seen Kobe do that.
He will.
Like
he will give you.
He'll get you with the up fake. I'm cool with the up fakes, but not the that you didn't see that bullshit from Kobe. Hell no, you didn't see that. And that's a lot of SGA game. Like
to that super chat, Ron,
lean and all that.
Neither of those dudes play like Bryant. Neither of them.
None of them.
Yeah.
I mean, who plays more like him though?
None of them.
I mean, more like is SGA than Tatum.
Yeah, I would go SGA.
Tatum. Yeah.
Tatum just
don't play
a
shit like
sidestep
Kobe.
three.
Nothing.
Guy.
He doesn't play anything
Tatum
like
play
Bryant.
shit like Kobe.
Nothing.
Tatum got
man.
them play like I don't know who the hell he think. Tatum play like damn Damian Lillard. That's who Tatum play like. He think he Damian Lillard.
Some of y'all in the chat,
6'8" Damian Lillard.
Some of y'all in the chat really don't know the assassin Kobe was.
Yeah,
I'm pulling up right here in this mid post. I don't even got to take a dribble. Give me the ball right here. I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna see what the defense gives you. I might throw a jab step at you. I might throw a pump fake. I might throw both of them at you. Then I'm just gonna shoot over the top of your ass, and it ain't nothing you could do about it.
Yeah,
I don't need to dribble. I don't need to do all this extra stuff. I'm just gonna park where I need to get to and shoot over you. If I need to dribble, I'll take 2 dribbles to the left, 2 dribbles to the right, pump fake your ass. Same thing.
Kobe embraced physicality too. Like he was the aggressor when it came to being physical. Like he was trying you. Like Lou Dort trying to be physical with Kobe. Shit, he would have broke Lou Dort ribs. He would have broke something on Lou Dort to where that shit stopped. Like him and Rajah Bell beefs back in the day. Shit, boy, them was real live. Like, all right, bro, you want to be aggressive? Elbow. Like Kobe got him on his back. Boom, hit him with that elbow spin. Like Kobe wanted all that. He wasn't trying to. He was getting to the free throw line, but he was earning them free throws. Kobe free throws was like make him earn it type of free throws. SGA free throws is like what the fuck? I ain't even like that type of shit. It was like, yeah, I fouled his ass. I fouled Kobe. Yeah, I'm gonna make him earn it. Put him on his back every time. Like that ain't how it was with that ain't how it is with SGA. So that's why I don't think they don't play nothing alike to me. I mean, they both good players though. I mean, like I get people want to see a lot of points being scored. I feel like if you score a lot of points, they just automatically compare you to the greatest scorers. Like, oh, you play like such and such. You play like this. Like just Chill said with Kareem and Shaq. Like they don't play shit alike. Like nothing alike. But that's the comparison. So
yeah. Well, my last request: can we please keep SGA in the tier that he needs to be in? That's with Harden and DeMar DeRozan and Michael Redd.
Nah,
keep him where he deserves to be.
Not in DeMar DeRozan, Michael Redd.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. You right, real talk. He ain't even there.
Nah, he passed. Hard pass.
Harden down there with Grievous Vasquez.
Oh man, y'all motherfuckers.
He do that when Ox gets started with that shit. Here we go.
He wasn't saying that shit. Ox wasn't saying that shit in the debate when he was debating with Harden. Ox wasn't saying that shit.
You think I be debating? I remember one time I had to debate Jokic over Patrick Ewing.
You had Jokic as the greatest offensive player of all time during the debate.
100%. 100%.
Unschemable, brother. You can't do nothing with that, boy. And he got positive rim deterrence.
Oh shit, he ain't that bad on defense as y'all say, huh? Pull out the facts.
Hell nah.
That's when you start pulling out them bullshit ass made up numbers. They come up with anything to say he ain't as bad as it seemed. Like my eyes not looking at this shit. Like, oh, rim deterrence, motherfucker ain't deterring shit. He get a lot of opportunities. That's it.
Ron, before we go, I know you're trying to move on, bro. I'm not gonna hold you up. But Wizardo just said that Ox must have a Harden story himself. My Harden story is him selling Kawhi. That's my Harden story. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen Game 7? So that should be everybody's Harden story.
No, Kawhi selling the Clippers.
He sold Kawhi. He sold Russ.
Got him a higher seed.
He sold Joel Embiid.
Man, hell no, I ain't gonna get put shit
He
on.
sold
that.
Dwight Howard. He sold Chris Paul. He sold everybody. Daryl Morey, he'd have sold him 3 or 4 times. I just keep selling and biting each other back. But
Shit, they got to pay Kawhi full time for part time work.
He
That's
worked,
crazy.
and he worked every damn penny.
I don't know in what world you can get paid full time for part time work, man. But salute to Kawhi. Hey, get your money. You know what I'm saying?
Don't hate on the man bread now.
They paid you. That ain't your fault. Shit.
Handsomely too, by the way, real.
Yep.
There wasn't no little bit of bread they threw at him. They took care of you.
Need to get our brother a raise.
A raise is crazy.
That's wild as hell, George.
Duck this shit.
Wild as hell.
You need to give some of that bread back.
Y'all need to respect. Y'all need to respect the GOAT. That's what y'all need to do.
Hey, when the motherfuckers start giving money out to charity for no reason, just know they feel bad about the shit that they got. All right, I'm gonna give it out the way to charity. All right, I'm gonna start a foundation, the Kawhi Leonard Foundation. We're gonna give back 68,000 backpacks a year. Yeah, motherfucker, you give back all the minutes you.
Wait, Jordan, are you implying that people only give to charities because they got guilty conscience?
Yeah, oh shit, damn near.
Well, tax write-offs.
So you can't nowadays 2025 you can't just be a good person. You can't just want to help others. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes you can, but you know when motherfuckers been talking shit about you sitting on the bench with all your jewelry on and shit like that, and all of a sudden you a charity man. Hey, I feel you. You know, you gotta get some of it back. You know, like how the D boys in the hood used to give back to grandma and shit. All of a sudden I'm buying the kids shoes and shit. Hey.
If I was in that situation, I'm acting like Ben Simmons. I'm coming to the game. Outfit costs 150 bands, and I'm not mad. Hey, you see me shining? He over there. Ben will be over there shining, boy.
Yeah, hey, this would be my rule if I was a coach or a GM. Y'all ass can't sit on my bench with all this fucking jewelry on and shit. Go sit in the locker room, bro. You're not finna come dress game day and you not playing with all your jewelry, big ass chains on, Gucci shirt. Sit your ass in the back. You're not finna get no TV time. I saw one time on the Nets, they had the Nets player sitting behind the motherfuckers with street clothes on. Oh, hell no. Oh, bro, y'all ass gonna sit in the back. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you y'all ass. You ain't getting no TV time with no jewelry and watch on and shit. Hell no. I would ban that shit if I was Adam Silver. If your ass ain't playing, sit in the back, bro. You not getting no TV time. Them motherfuckers get hurt.
If you can't play, you gotta wear the warm-ups, bro. You gotta wear warm-ups, bro.
All that I'm sitting on the side.
Put your sweats on, bro.
NBA still doing NBA fits. Motherfucker ain't played in 2 weeks. How you on NBA fits? Oh, I'm banning that shit. If I'm Adam Silver, y'all motherfuckers gotta sit in the back. All
that's crazy.
No, we not getting no TV
we can't
time.
be fly.
No,
we promoting NBA by us being fly.
Bro, when you ask them why you ain't playing, I'm convinced that they don't want to play so they can sit on the side with all their jewelry on. That's what I think they want to sit all the way on the side with all the jewelry on and all the cool clothes and shit. That's my reason why I see a motherfucker ain't playing. Motherfucker look healthy as hell. He got on Gucci slide. He got on Gucci pants. Got his little cute outfit, bust down watch, fresh as hell. Ain't played in 2 weeks. Now you got to go sit in the back, big dog. I don't give a fuck how fresh you is. Watch the game from the back. Family room. It is what it is. That's a distraction. That shit is a distraction. Then they got to put the camera on. Anthony, I ain't gonna bring up AD like that. I'm gonna bring up Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons ain't played in 3.5 weeks. He what they call it, ramping it up. Motherfucker got 6 watches on. He ramping it up. He ain't ramping up shit. No. We getting that out. If I'm the commissioner, that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. It's about that time to go ahead and get into these super chats. Speaking of charitable donations and all of that good stuff. Also, let's salute to our Hall of Famers: Vale, Teddy Hart, Jason Grills, Worldwide Mace TV, Minor Cheese, and Multi Kenny. Salute to all of them. Y'all hold it down as our Hall of Famers.
Wait, Rob, what? Nigga, these are not charitable donations. People are paying for you to read their super chats. That's your problem. You think they just donating. These motherfuckers, they paying so that you can read the super chat. You read the super chat. This ain't no charitable donation.
Thank you for the charitable donations, y'all. Hey, when people have a guilty conscience, they give money. And the thing about it is, they probably be feeling bad for y'all whack ass takes. So they send through these super chats to correct them. So the first one we got is from Cowboy Bob. Cowboy said, tonight's game play Pacome the diet. Tonight's game play Pacome the diet or Neesmith when Brunson's on the bench. His defense is physical and can shot. Neesmith needs to get knocked around for when Brunson comes off the bench. Keep mixing up the lineup. Go New York, go.
He probably making shoot. And is that Pacoima? No, that ain't Pacoima. That ain't
it's Pacome the diet.
I don't know how the fuck you, man. I don't know what kind of shit that is.
The diet.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Last name.
That's his last name?
Yeah.
That's a brand name.
Shit. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Shit. NDL 3-1. Let's go and take that shit to the crib. 3-1. I will say this though. The Oklahoma City Thunder got a history of losing 3-1 leads. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nah.
In the Western Conference Final, they got a history of losing 3-1 leads.
But you sounded like Eddie Murphy for a second when you said that. It's French. So you got some of that French shit. Smell French, huh?
Simon 718. I asked Chill this on his morning on his live this morning. Everyone's thoughts on what Terrence Shannon Jr. ceiling is if he gets significant minutes down the road. A potentially special two-way player / third option.
Norman Powell.
I think it's I think he probably has a better defensive upside than Norman Powell.
Because he's bigger.
Who's a good player? Maybe that's a seven.
Yep.
Norman Powell.
I'm really not mad at Norman.
That's a good ceiling. That won't necessarily mean he's gonna be the scorer Norman Powell is, but shit, could be OG too though. No, OG's bigger than him, bro.
Yeah, that's not a terrible. That's not a terrible comp though. But like just that kind of play style.
Those are two really good basketball players. So
yeah. OG might be just a little too big for him though. He
play OGS, except he's just not 6'8", 6'9".
Nah, OG got a little bit more of a calm game, bro. OG kind of got one of them cerebral assassin game. That shit just get overlooked because he's playing third fiddle. But OG really got a nice game for sure. OG is a little baby Kawhi a little bit baby Kawhi.
I see some of it. To be honest with you, Jordan, when it comes to OG, I see some of it. The body type.
Yeah, but OG
I
really
see some of it. I do.
OG really like that. It's just he playing third fiddle, but he baby Kawhi a little bit, like a little bit.
Hey, OG played. He played 2 years in Indiana.
I think one.
Just one? Okay.
No, it might have been two.
Yeah.
Yeah, OG nice.
All right, y'all. The Hot TV said Harden to the Wolves to solve the point guard problems. Can he be the piece that takes them over?
Nope.
You can't put them two full. You can't put them two together.
No. Yeah, they might.
Them fools will be. Man, come on, man.
No.
Hell no.
I appreciate them talking about that this morning on ESPN though. About
talking about what
the face of the league shit about being married. Like, bro, that man, 23 years old, man. Leave that brother alone with that shit, man. Like, we don't even need to bring that shit up. They don't got much to do with basketball. This brother, 23 years old, man. I'm
tired of that conversation every time I be on ESPN. Who's the new face of the league? Who's gonna be face of the league? Who's the best player? Man,
that's because we held on to Curry and James and KD for as long as we had. That's fucking why, Ox. We have never
I think all of our faces of the leagues is different. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like who do you think of when you think of NBA? That's the face of the league to you. Yeah. Okay. And let's just move on. Shit, it's really not even
the reason why they having that segment every other day is because they are nervous for when Bron retires.
Nervous for what? Bron ain't playing basketball.
And that's why they bring it. That's why they bring it Mike back.
Hate on now. Who they finna talk about for 24/7?
That's why they bring Mike back.
But Bron out here dancing and shit. He's not even playing basketball. What are we talking about? What y'all worried about Bron for? You need to hate on somebody. Choose one.
Bron been carrying NBA media for the past.
It ain't. I tell you
Real
one
talk,
thing.
it's
It
gonna
ain't.
get real spooky when he retired. Real talk.
Bro, I'm gonna
I
tell y'all
don't
the
know,
truth.
10
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. And full transparency. Y'all know me. I'm gonna give y'all the real me. It's easy to hate. Look, when there ain't nothing going on, wasn't nothing interesting on last night. Okay. What I'm gonna do? Who I'm hating on today? Luka, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Luka, your turn. Jokic, your turn. Tyrese, your turn. If ain't nothing going on, we shit. Why not?
I feel you.
I understand.
You feel him?
I understand.
I be hating too sometimes. Fuck it, I be hating. I know
definitely
I be hating though. I be going dead. Like I be talking shit about Steph Curry, and then mid sentence be like, "Yeah, I be hating like a motherfucker on Steph." It is what it is though. Like I mean, I respect greatness. I mean, shit, you can't nobody hate. Ain't nobody hating on the bum. So hey, respect greatness. You know?
Joel, wait till Joel get back on the court. I got shit.
I ain't hating on Ben Simmons when I talk about him. I'm dead ass with that shit. That shit ain't no hate. That shit is real talk. I'm not hating. Don't know what nobody be talking about. You hating? Please don't say I'm hating on Ben Simmons. Hating on fucking what? What am I hating on? I don't know what possibly could
You
I
definitely
be
hate Donovan Mitchell though.
You 100%. Cut the shit, Jordan.
Hold on.
I don't want to hear the bullshit, Jordan.
It's not that I hate on Donovan Mitchell.
Here we go.
I hate that y'all put him in these talks that he don't
What
belong
talk?
in. First of all, the way Chill regard Donovan Mitchell. First of all, I'm gonna these first team all NBA talks. That shit is mind-boggling. He ain't that.
Happened, right?
He's first team all NBA.
Yeah, that's bullshit though. That's the part I'm hating on. I'm hating on that because that's bullshit. But I will say though, I think Donovan Mitchell is a good player. Number 2 option. That's what I think he is. At best, number 2. Nothing. That's not hate to me. Hating is what I do about Stephen Curry. Like I want that motherfucker to lose. If Steph wins another championship, oh my god, like y'all don't know how bad that I would feel. Like, I want that shit to done. Like anytime something happened to the Warriors, I'm like, look at these Warriors. Can't carry shit. Can't carry water. But you know, that's hate. That shit I got for Donovan Mitchell, it's not really hate. I just don't want y'all to be thinking that he doing something. Like that shit ain't nothing.
Damn, Jordan, I'm first team all pro. I'm doing something.
But ain't nobody scared of him. Ain't nobody scared of him.
Ain't got shit to do with being scared of nobody. I am first team all pro.
Like,
I've made the all pro team first and second team twice in the last 3 years. What the hell we doing?
Look, and when I would tell my kids about Donovan Mitchell, I would say, bro, he was a really good player. Now he was like that. When the motherfuckers start saying motherfucker was scared of D Mitch, now I gotta stop you. No, you won't D Mitch in the playoffs. If we get in a matchup and Donovan Mitchell come across, I think I can win that series. Dead ass. Like, I think nobody roll over when they see Donovan Mitchell. But when you see SGA, you see, I even throw Ant, you see Jokic, you see Luka,
Halliburton.
See, I don't know about that right now.
See
but
what he tried to trick you into saying?
That one, I don't know about that right now.
He would try to trick you into saying?
I'm like, yeah, even Brunson, like, okay, I got these guys, like, shit. Ooh, these guys can beat me in a series. I think Donovan Mitchell can play well. I don't think he can beat you in a series. I don't think
he did that last year with Orlando. He did that when he played
we talking
against
about
Oklahoma
Orlando.
City. He did that. We've seen him do that, Jordan. Stop with that bullshit, yo.
When he played Oklahoma City.
Yeah, when they had Russ and when they had Paul George and
Chill.
Yes. He did as a rook, by the way.
He was a rookie that year.
Okay, what
as
happened?
A rook, by the way.
Okay.
Outplayed Russell Westbrook. Bounced them dudes out the playoffs.
I remember being in Houston, and when we seen Utah coming up the next round, easy dub. We getting past.
Well, yeah, but that's because you also have Harden. Like, it's
exactly. What?
I didn't want to bring. You never heard me say that Donovan Mitchell was better than James Harden. You never heard.
No,
me say
but
that.
saying, I'm saying, if I'm the guy that's contending team during that time, I wouldn't want to play James Harden. The only team, like we were scared of is the Warriors. Like, ain't nobody worried about Donovan Mitchell, bro. Like, they worry about more than Damian Lillard than they is Donovan Mitchell. Not like that's all I'm saying. If I see Donovan Mitchell come across my screen in playoffs, cakewalk, unless he's a number 2 option. If he's a number 2 option, now I'm like, but first one, no.
All right, y'all. We got another members chat from Scott Howard.
Hey, we got to do a salute in a moment of silence. But oh boy, just went out. He went out with a bang, though. I guess. I
ain't see it anyway, so it don't even.
Peace.
Matter. Scott Howard said, "Love the show. Y'all talked about Ant being a generational player. or generational talent, but never about SGA. So is Shai a generational player or talent?
He could be, yes.
I think he's going to be a generational player. Yeah,
100%. He wasn't that coming in, even though I think there were some people who did see it. I think Doc Rivers saw it.
No, I don't think Doc seen it. Doc ain't play his ass enough. When I used to be saying all the time, like, bro, why he treating this rook like that? Like he's like a regular type of rook. I used to say that shit all the time, bro. I used to be like, bro, Shai ass to play the first quarter, come out, and you won't see his ass again until halftime. And I'm like, damn, bro, put the young fella in the game. Like, put the young guy in the game. He wouldn't start Shai at first sometimes. Like, I'm like, put the young dude in the game, bro. Let the young boy play.
I remember watching Shai when he was young, and I'd be like, he nice, but it looks so awkward. Like,
yeah.
It used to look funky looking. Yeah. I don't know.
He fixed his shot a little bit too. He fixed his shot a little bit too. It had a little funny part in it.
Don't y'all think that them type of dudes be harder to guard?
Yeah,
because you play even some. I'll even go so as far as saying like dudes that are not good at basketball are hard to guard because they just be doing crazy shit.
Like, awkward ass game with that awkward ass game.
What the fuck? Like,
funky ass.
I'm talking about hit your ass with anything. Like, bro, the ball ain't supposed to be over there, bro. What's going on, bro? I can't guard this.
The hell am I supposed to stop that?
But definitely a dude with game that just got an awkward. He lanky. He got an awkward style, bro. He tear your ass up. Well, you don't even know what's going on out there.
Yo, shout out to Arch. Y'all know the face. Y'all know the name. Arch joined up his membership, and you should do the same thing. Be like the chat's father, Arch. Tough Bradley became a YouTube member. Shout out to Tough Bradley. Also, shout out to Buddy Jenkins, the only buddy around here that we really acknowledge. Shout out to Buddy Jenkins. Appreciate you. Speaking of which, Buddy Jenkins also sent through a super chat. He said, J-Dub has to get all NBA next year to be eligible for the max. iHeart's contract is front-loaded with the team option. Kaysen is Lou's replacement.
I don't know if they should replace Lou Dort. They might need to pay Lou. They might need to get Lou Dort that bread.
So
Canadian dollars.
No, he does not have to be all NBA next year to be eligible for the Supermax. And the reason why I know that is because, let me make sure I get this to you, Ron. These are the ramifications for being a Supermax player. I don't know if you can see that. And one of them states you have to be all NBA in 2 years.
Keep that up there, Chill. Players eligible for Supermax contract entering year 8, 9, or 10 with rookie contract team. Won an MVP in any of the past 3 seasons. Defensive player of the year in any of the last 2 seasons, or the one that Chill was saying, made any all NBA team in the most recent or prior 2 seasons.
This year.
He's eligible.
That will be this season.
Supermax.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Ron, you know, Chill wanted to tell you, well, hurry up and read this shit. My arm tired as hell.
I was about to say, Ron got his ass working. You should just screenshot that shit.
And trying to hold it steady too.
Yeah, he's shaking his shit. Chill. Shaking his shit. Like, damn, Chill, you all right?
I got it.
Yeah.
So y'all think what if you OKC, you paying J-Dub the Supermax?
This is the problem that we have in real talk because again, this is why Memphis is in a good space because Triple J didn't make the All-Pro team. So we got some bread that we can hold on to. We ain't got to go all the way to 345 or 350. We can be good, right? We can be good at around, I don't know, 220. Maybe 230. We could be good at around that space.
They did actually dodge a bullet, yeah.
You got SGA who's eligible for what 75, 76.
He better get paid.
Yes,
for what I thought, yeah.
Hey, Jordan.
On top of that, you got J-Dub who just made the All-Pro team this year, and his deal is up next year.
What's up,
it's
Ron?
about to get real spooky in Oklahoma City.
Hey, and don't let Chet get a DPOY.
Chet payday coming too. Hey, Jordan, you don't like the pitch in the jury now? Just wait till you see what OKC's about in 2028.
I'm telling you, bro, I would ban that shit. You motherfucker gonna sit in the back. Oh, y'all coming out with y'all uniform on.
Let all 3 of them and iHeart be hurt on the same game. Boy.
Hey, we finished.
I said that last night. I said that last night.
Coming through with the diamonds,
bro. I said that last night. I know everybody be getting on Cat about his mannerisms. iHeart do the same shit, bro. The same bullshit. iHeart get on my fucking nerves, bro.
Jordan, he does have a big chick way of running, don't he? Don't he run like a big ass chick?
Yeah, bro. Like, and he be complaining. He be like, "There's a foul." Like, did you see that? Like, he be the main one. I'm like, bro,
Oh, I'm getting so tired of seeing
my
this.
fucking God. I'm like, bro,
However,
I hard get on my nerves with that shit, bro.
However,
I ain't gonna lie.
Nick Wright had a take about that, Ron. He said how to quit like having players do that all the time. They like make it a rule to where if your player does this and it gets caught, it's automatically being reviewed.
Yeah.
It's automatically being reviewed.
you can't do that.
Yeah. So now,
motherfuckers just program.
you got to be selective now because if you do that, that means it's getting reviewed.
You can't do that. But what they should do, like per team though, is if you tell me to challenge them and not challenge it and it's wrong, I'm finding you 150 bands.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not 50, 150 bands.
That's a lot of bread. God damn.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if I'm going 150, but
I would say that just so dudes to chill out. Like, but we let my coaching staff do their job. You know what I'm saying? Like we because my thing too is if we're focused on something, right? Like an adjustment we're doing something and something happens and you out there doing that might distract us from what we was doing. Like, hey, is that something? Look at it, man. You know you hit that boy whole forearm. What you doing this for? Your finger burn. Your hands is burning from slapping somebody, and you doing this. Your fingers is burning.
Now I will say, and I don't know if y'all know this, but he is one of us. Just so y'all know.
Oh, iHeart?
Yes. He ain't one of us. I'm from California. He might be one of y'all.
He is one of us. Somebody in the lineage.
Nah, that motherfucker 3%.
Somebody was sneaking in the slave quarters. Yes, they were. Mm-hmm. Somebody was back in the day sneaking in the slave quarters. He definitely one of us. Yes, he is.
He's German as a motherfucker. They were talking about it yesterday. The French man and the German going head to head. No, they don't like each other.
That Hartenstein name didn't fool me one bit. I'm like, that dude, he one of us. I don't know where it's at, but he one of us. Yeah, he is.
All right, y'all. We got a members chat from Kyle Martinez. Kyle says, salute, panel. Last night's game was an example why y'all can't even begin to compare Ant and Shai. Pacers in 5.
I probably would agree with you. I jumped the gun on that. I slowed it down. I slowed it down. Shai better than Ant. I'm
glad you.
I walked that back earlier, Jordan. I said that about 20 minutes into the show. I went ahead and just walked that back. My bad.
I really walked it back after the game too, but I'm doubling down on
between him and SGA Ox. Where's the gap between him and SGA Ox?
It's because it's not big like what they're missing, but what they're missing is significant. The ability to not have those go-tos and have your spots picked out and know what you're gonna do no matter who's harassing you, that's serious. And it shows, it shines bright. You know what I'm saying? When you don't got that, it's glaring. It's glaring. And so for me, it's not so much that has so much more things in him. It's just that one aspect of your game can separate you by a big distance. And in my defense, I didn't necessarily say he was better than SGA. I said, let's see this series because I thought they were on the same tier. So I'm like, you being on the same tier, one series can do it for me. But my mistake was saying that they were even in the same tier because they're not.
We do that though, Ox. Like we see players that are possibly on the same tier and we get them in the series and we can find out, where you are when it comes to this person. And it's obvious there's a gap between SGA and Anthony Edwards. There's obvious.
And a lot of it is just game maturity. When your game matures, you can elevate into a new tier. And I think when Ant matures all the way, because it matured over this summer. He got extended the 3-point shooting. Now it's just working on little things. You know what I'm saying? It might not be becoming a better shooter. It may be becoming a better decision maker, a better thinker. It could be a whole lot of IQ, learning what to do in late game situations and how to keep yourself a scoring threat no matter who's guarding you.
So with that being said, Ox, and I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way. Is SGA varsity and Ant is working his way up to varsity?
No. SGA is like the senior on varsity. Like this is my squad, and Ant's that sophomore.
So he's in the 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? He on the varsity crew though.
Yeah, he that sophomore that's getting minutes, but when it's time to rock, it's like, all right, little brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
hey, little brother, spot up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You might get it.
There yet. All right,
I do think once SGA develops that, Ant develops some of that in between stuff, I do think that gap shrinks immediately because Ant's the significantly better 3-point shooter. So as soon as he adds that, okay, I can get to 15 feet away, bump, fade. Like as soon as that's a consistent shot for him, and Ant is going to climb the rankings like for players very quickly because that pull-up three-point shooting is a real threat. And then as explosive of an athlete he is to get downhill, the in-between game tied all together, he gonna be right there where he need to be.
Said sent through a super chat and said OKC versus Pacers in the finals. I think Rick Carlisle and the Pacers gonna get them tonight. Rick Carlisle and Pascal are proven champs.
Yes, they are. That point I won't argue. Yes, they are. And I mean, I think tonight's game between the Knicks and the Pacers, I don't think that they give this game up, Ron. I'll be lying to you, Ron, if I said they give this game up. I think that they went to New York to get both of those games to have complete control of the series, and they win tonight. They take complete control of the series. I think this buries the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks beat Indiana. I feel like they beat you guys, Ron, at what you do best. I don't think that that's going to happen again. I think your rotation guys, as effective as they are, I think they're going to be just as effective. I think your starters, I don't think that you do what you did in the game before where you let them dudes off the hook. I don't think you do that. I don't.
Pacers in 5.
I got you on that one. Pacers in 5 too.
Arch sent through a members chat and said the fastest player in the game is Emmanuel Quickly.
I got Fox, but
I definitely got Fox.
Yeah, it's probably De'Aaron. I don't even know if De'Aaron be running full speed a lot of times.
I don't Jordan. Nope.
Bro, I know, bro. Real talk. Well, like I said, we from Houston. I know I played against Fox a lot of times. Y'all haven't seen shit, bro. It's so hard to describe a man who shit just come too easy for him. It's very hard. You know, when Pat was talking about Cat.
Yeah.
Bro, think of that with Fox times 10. Bro, he can do whatever the hell he feel like, bro. He just some of them days, bro. Like I'm telling you, some of them days, bro. Like the nigga been good his whole life.
That's the big thing, though, Jordan. Is it's like a lot of basketball between the ears. Like y'all imagine if Jalen Brunson had De'Aaron Fox's athleticism.
Yeah, that shit would be
incredible. It would be like this nigga would be.
Brunson play with
conversations, but
Brunson play with a motor, like
he played with a motor, but he also
can't
played
stop.
With a killer mentality.
Fox don't man. Imagine Fox had that killer mentality Brunson had.
Fox be pissing me off when I'm watching him too, because I watch a lot of De'Aaron Fox games because he, rep the city and stuff. Like, why are you pulling up? Like every time I see him shoot a pull-up three, it's just like it feel like settling because the dude in front of him can't guard him. Like I know the dude in front of him can't guard.
Like, bro,
he get by him whenever he get ready, bro.
Bro, I watched his name De'Aaron Fox put 50 as a freshman on the top 2 kids in the country, the Harrison twins.
Yeah. I remember I was at
De'Aaron was a freshman when he did that?
Yes.
He was in ninth
we
grade.
were the same class in high school.
It was like his second game. It was like his second game.
50?
Yeah.
50.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to
high school
tell
game?
y'all.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, it's if you even see the school he went to, too.
It's only
it's not
32
like,
minutes in high school. Just so y'all
it ain't
know.
even like no
he
big.
He didn't like he went to a private school where they were stacking teams. They had another kid who his name was Nick Garth.
Nick
Garth. He ended up going to Lamar. But he didn't have and he wasn't even big. Nick Garth was small, but he didn't have no crazy team.
Just had a shot.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not really no good teams like that in Houston anyway. So.
Oh my goodness!
But no, we got to read super chats.
I ain't gonna go into that. Yeah, then he trying to change the subject. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, man.
Because Alan L said 2025 Wolves or the 2024 Wolves. Which team is better? Also, Ant getting belted by 2 all-time PGs 2 years in a row is tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I had a quick story, Ron. Quick story about Fox. Because me and
hold on, right quick. Before you get that story, y'all just trying to answer this question. Who y'all got? The Wolves this year or the Wolves last year?
Wolves
last year. I still got last year. Wolves this year.
Better. I like them this year.
Yeah,
but
I like it with Cat. So me and Fox was 2016, class of 2016 in high school, right?
Yeah.
I went to my freshman year. I went to Westbury Christian, right? And I'm thinking I'm doing something, you know what I'm saying? I'll go over there because they were like the number 2 team in the city at the time. LJ Rose was over there, and I think his name Delvin Cook. They was over there balling. I make the JV team right as a freshman. I'm playing with some circuit kids that play on like Texas Pro and stuff on the JV team. I'm thinking I'm doing something, you know what I'm saying? Man, come to find out one day at school, chill, they was like, "Hey man, y'all know who we playing Saturday? Have y'all heard of them?" I was like, "Who? Who y'all talking about?" It's like, "Man, it's this freshman just dropped 50." I was like, "Wait, what? You talking? He on varsity?" He was like, "Yeah, he dropped 50 on varsity as a freshman." I'm like, "Who? What's his name?" They said like his name like De'Aaron Fox or something like that. Man, Fox gave them niggas about 40.
Bro,
Hey, bro.
Fox
Fox
was
nice
cold,
as
bro.
hell in high
I'm
school.
telling y'all, bro, the speed, that nigga would get down the court in 3 dribbles and dunk the shit out the ball. That nigga would block your shot clean off the glass. Like, he played with so much motor, but then he would get that 50 and he probably could have had 60. He just probably stopped playing at a certain point. Like, all right, fuck it, I'm done playing. These do shit like, bro, we played him a lot and we would beat their ass. And like, we knew Fox wasn't coming back out after halftime. Like, cause he just was like, all right, I ain't playing after half. Hell no, he ain't. He probably would score 12 or 13 in the first half, and we be beating their ass so bad he ain't coming back out. He ain't playing. No, he done. He ain't never finished the game with us. He never finished the full game with us, like ever. I probably played him like 4 times. Never finished the full game with us. Like, but he liked that, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's just shit. It's just, I don't know, bro. Kelly Oubre was like that too, though, by the way.
Colin Miller said, "When's the last time someone was fooled at the rim and got 3 blocks?"
Chet. Chet. That's who, Colin. How about that?
Triclop said, "I agree about Rob Dillingham stepping up into a bigger role, but what about Bones Highland? Are there any thoughts about how he fits in Minnesota?"
I know y'all dudes love these, hyperactive ballers.
Yeah.
Does Bones Highland know how to play basketball?
Nah. Bones Highland is a good basketball player. It's very hard to fit him in because I think it's more of a defensive liability than anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a defensive liability more than anything. He's also not really a point guard, and he's small. So it's kind of hard, but I think he will carve out a role eventually. You know what I mean? I think like same for him and Emmanuel. Him and Emmanuel quickly play similar. Even though they look alike, they play similar too. But it's very hard for them to carve out roles just because of they tweeners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've been tweeners their whole life. So they kind of got to master a certain thing, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
I got you.
MP13 said Ant's handles and counters are nowhere close to SGA when dribbling in traffic. It's different planets. He's explosive, not heavy angles like SGA.
Yeah, and Ant is nice with the pill. I'll give him that credit. Yes, he is. He's got that between the legs and that burst.
He take the wrong angles though.
Yeah, I've really noticed that about him, and I think that goes back to where he is in terms of his age. Like Jordan, you're a coach, you can appreciate this. When he goes between his legs and he's going by a guy, he gives him that avenue to cut him off instead of soon as he gets on that shoulder, keeping him there where he can get right to the rim. So he takes a wide angle a lot of times, and he's allowing me to recover as opposed to going right by a guy.
And bring up that super chat again, Ron. Ant don't have very many counters. I will say that. Ant don't have a lot of counters to his game. He's so athletic, you kind of don't need him. But because counters is for people that's not that athletic. But when they're gonna like crowd him in a space in the mid range, like instead of getting all the way to the rim, he probably needs to slow down. I just think he just needs to slow down a little bit. Shai just mastered his pace. That's what I think it is.
One thing I do notice about him though, this is something I pointed out. I think it was like game 1 because Julius Randle did it. When you first off, I do agree he takes like a wide angle. So then you can bump him. You know what I'm saying? Like Chill saying, you cut him off and bump him off his spot. But then on top of that, once he feels a bump, for him that automatically triggers a pullback move. And I would rather see Ant absorb that contact and then keep going on his path. A lot of times it's like, okay, I want to make an initial move. He bumps me, so now I'm doing a pullback cross You know what I'm saying? Instead of just keep going and fight through that. Julius,
it's also hard too because they put 4 or 5 guys in the paint too. So that's part of the reason why he pulled back. But I feel like if he don't allow them to do that, like Shai does a good job of if he getting a bump, he's initiating the bump. I think Ant needs to do a better job of not allowing them to do that, and he need to start finding area. I call it opportunities to bump. Like you find, like you get a guy all balanced, you go bomb, you go right off his hip. Find that opportunity to bump him before he bump you. Now you're in full control, and I think that's the next step for Ant's game. Like, and he 23. You know what I mean? Shai is what? How old is Shai?
23. Yep.
Shai 23.
26.
Oh,
Shai. I'm sorry.
I was about to say Shai and Tatum the same age.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I think that's a part of it. You know what I mean? Like that's a part of it. Shai learned that shit too. Shai had good ass coaches too that taught him that shit too. Though.
And Chris Paul.
Yeah, and Chris Paul.
It's
Sam Cassell, his rookie year. He worked with Sam Cassell a lot.
He worked with a lot of them little guards that knew, went to initiate that contact and get to
with the Clippers. Sam was that dude.
The trap is a trap. Sent through a super chat and said SGA made the shots when it mattered. Every time the game got close, it was 40 well-needed points. He controlled the pace and won the game.
Yeah, he played well.
Yes.
I didn't for me yesterday, I know people had big numbers, but I didn't feel like it was bad defense being played. I just felt like we watched a really good basketball game with a lot of really good basketball players yesterday.
That was one of the better games I've seen in the playoffs.
That was just a good basketball game.
It was a complete game by the whole team too.
The
Timberwolves showing that they can when they play with full confidence. I wasn't mad at Jaden McDaniels taking that layup he took on Shai at the end of the game too, because Ant was calling for the ball, but he didn't really want the ball, bro. I think he was already cooked by then. But I like the role players just being aggressive, especially when you got the tool set. Like Nikhil was being very aggressive. He was taking advantage of this.
Shit, boy. Yeah, you saw a couple of them left-hand finishes Nikhil had?
Yeah.
And
the one where he scooped it up like this.
I will say with Dante DiVincenzo, bro, I've been bitching about his shots. And the good shots he take off the catch, I'm fine with.
Ash, yep.
The bullshit in transition was 18, 19. Oh, my God. Take that shot and shove it up your ass like Rick Carlisle say. Please do. Take that shot. And
I don't be mad at Dante shooting. I'll be one Dante shooting.
I'll be pissed off.
Dante, let it go.
The margin of error is too small for him to be taking some of the shit he take. Like, yo, bro, y'all down 2. You come down here and took a shot with 19 seconds left on the clock. Oklahoma take that shit and score. Now y'all down 7 somehow. And he come back on court like he ain't do shit wrong. Yeah, the fuck you did. Get off that ball. We don't want you to be the only. I don't want Dante to be the only one that touched the ball and shoot. Not him. That can't be. Nah.
I'm Drake Hughes said, in my opinion, I see SGA as a taller Kyrie. He doesn't jump like Kobe. He had a good 3, maybe 4 dribble score.
No. Kyrie's super nicer with the pill. He's a better athlete.
The Trap is a Trap sent through another super chat and said, can y'all watch Shai and Kobe side by sides, then revisit?
No.
We watched this on Playback.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm seeing some videos of the side by side thing.
You could probably do that with.
You do that with everybody.
Goddamn.
Jalen Davis said, not bailing out Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle, but if Rudy could be more decisive at the nail off the Anthony Edwards double, I think Minnesota could be elite. Like 24 lively.
No. 2 things that's stopping this Minnesota team from being damn near unguardable. A point guard, a good table setting point guard, and a good rolling big that they trust. Yeah. Them 2 things, that opens up the floor for Jay.
Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert bring the damn ball too much. If I was Minnesota, I would look for a guy like Draymond Green. I would look for a way to get Draymond Green on our team or Chris Paul. Chris Paul would help them out so much more than Mike Conley. But I would look for Draymond Green and Chris Paul because both of them. I would look for both of them. Really, shit. I want to see what the Warriors' temperature is on Draymond, and I want to see what the Spurs' temperature is with Chris Paul. Chris Paul a free agent or no?
Yes.
It was if I'm Minnesota, I'm 1,000% getting Chris Paul. But I'm also want to see what the Warriors' temperature is on Draymond. Draymond Green will make this team way better. because you can throw the ball to him and he can make plays. Part of the reason you can't throw the ball to Nas Reed or Gobert to make them same plays. So, and Draymond would just get them over the top for sure, easily over the top.
But you say, you're getting rid of Gobert for that deal?
I don't know if I would get rid of them if they wanted in a trade, but I don't know if I would get rid of them unless I know I'm drafting a center. If I can draft a center, in the draft that can
help you right away, that you know for a fact can help you right away, I would consider it.
But I wouldn't mind having both Rudy and Draymond because we seen Draymond play with Bogut.
Imagine putting
Draymond with Bogut was nice.
Ron, we boxing in practice.
Yeah.
We are boxing a day. You put me in the chair, we boxing a day in practice.
Yeah, I don't know if that can happen, but
I mean they would, they shook hands after. They was cool after the series. I seen them, as long as they shake hands, it's basketball. You be pissed off at somebody till they become your teammate. You like, oh shit,
that's true.
I can sleep at night now. I ain't got to troll your ass all damn day. We cool now.
Andre Q said the best scorers kill from the mid-range. Ant just has to be better in the mid, and it opens up so much more.
He will.
Yeah.
He will.
We got a new member.
I don't know what that means, Ron. I'm sorry.
Well, fortunately,
what they say, Ron?
My man Saber sent through a super chat. And Saber said, well, Saber is my name. As soon as that just started, or as someone that just started watching hoops, how do you analyze how good a player is? So more so middle players, not just stars. So how do you tell the difference between mid players and star players?
I don't know if that's what he asked. I think he's trying to see like how can you see if a player that's not a star, how can you analyze how good a player is? I think consistency. I think if you look at consistency on the level, I think that can tell you a lot. Like how does a person affect the game, whether they up 20 or down 20. I think you can tell right away, and how consistent they do it on a night in, night out basis.
I watch a guy and I look at his skill set and see what it reminds me of and how it translates to the game and translates to winning. Is that something that can be great? Is he a rotation guy? How much can he help the unit? In what way? And that's how I analyze.
And how many teams can he play on?
Yes.
Can he just play on this team, or can he play
how much does his game translate?
12, 13,
how much does his game travel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Consistency and complementary skills.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Last but not least, Pirates Playground sent through a members chat and said the dog barks, the parade marches on.
Pirate, did you check your pills, yo?
Not sure.
Did you take your pills, Pirate?
Not sure what that means, Pirate.
Wise words to end the show. Thank you, Pirate. Y'all already know we're going to be back tomorrow. And also, just to let you guys know, we'll be watching this on Thursday on Playback. This is the Knicks versus the Pacers as the Pacers close out the series. And then tomorrow, we'll be back on Playback to watch the Wolves against OKC. Y'all be sure to pull up and check us out. Until then, we'll catch y'all tomorrow at the same time.
Later.
Later.